Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Toby. Welcome to the podcast. If you're a new listener, welcome. I'm going to give a big shout out to my day ones for the past 6 years, my subscribers, my listeners. I appreciate people who talk about this podcast, who share this podcast, who support this podcast, who write reviews for this podcast. Really appreciate all your support. I've been doing this for 6 years. I've been giving it away for free. So many people ask me why I don't film it, why I don't monetize on YouTube, why don't I charge people for it on Patreon? And their answer is because I don't want to. I love these conversations in my kitchen. I love the honesty. I love that people want to come back for 2 or 3 episodes, the reoccurring guests that I have all the time. I love it. No lights, no cameras. I myself do not like going on podcasts that are being filmed and have lights. I've done it a couple times. I'll probably never do it again. I don't feel like myself in those situations. So I want all my guests to be as comfortable as possible. I do have sponsors. The sponsors keep my shit going. They keep it alive. But I will never interrupt a conversation with an ad in the middle of it. People do that all the time, and I will never interrupt the flow of a conversation. So don't worry about that. But I do have amazing sponsors who I align myself with, the products that I use on a daily basis. I've turned down so much money for sponsors that want to be part of this podcast with companies I've never tried or didn't align with. I'm very picky about who I have on my sponsors and have on this podcast. That being said, check out the sponsors. Joe, cue up the music. Yo, Rockabilia, one of our sponsors. We have a limited skate deck designed by my brother Dan Smith and Captured Tattoo, celebrating 30 years of our first album, out right now for pre-order between now and May 18th at rockabilia.com. You can go to rockabilia.com right now and use my code OLOC and get 10% off. That's OLOC and get 10% off this limited skate deck. Check out my Instagram for photos of it. We'll be posting in the next couple weeks, so it's live between now and May 18th on rockabilia.com. Thank you, Rockabilia, for the support for this podcast. Thanks for all you do and put out there for all the bands and musicians and artists, all the amazing merchandise you guys make. Stoked to have you guys part of this podcast.
Welcome to the One Life, One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. And today I'll be using my Kiwi accent instead of my Lower East Side accent. If you haven't guessed, this is not Toby Morse. I'm Dan Smith, and I have kind of hijacked the airwaves over here in his kitchen for a very special announcement. I've been friends with Toby for 25 years or so, and he's always shown me love and support with everything I've done, from my music, from taking bands on tour, having me create artwork for H2O, and countless other things over the years. I've filled in for them a couple times on bass and guitar, and made memories I could never forget. In exchange, I've tattooed him a million times and might have seen more of his body than Moon has at this point. And today he surprised me and asked me to do my very own read and announce something that I've been working on that will now be a new sponsor of this very podcast. I grew up playing and loving soccer or football, and if music and tattoos didn't get in the way, I'm literally positive I would have been a pro. A couple years ago, me and my friend Kevin decided to start Field Soccer Supply. Field is a soccer-based clothing brand, but mostly Field's an idea that was created from me being involved in bands and tattooing, etc. for over 25 years and experiencing the crucial, amazing, connecting element of what makes the world go round, community. We kind of exist to elevate the passion for the beautiful game and just connect music, culture, historic moments along the way. So if you've got kids in soccer or you play in an adult league with your mates, you know how it goes. Every season, new uniforms, new fees, new hassles, new everything. Soccer is the biggest sport in the world, but is literally the #1 sport in America that kids actually stop playing. And the main reason is simply just the cost of everything. All those old polyester jerseys end up in a landfill something too, and the love of the game kind of follows soon after. We're going to do something different. We take old uniforms headed for the dump and recycle them. We then use the recycled polyester to create uniforms that any team can love. They're fully customizable team kits, fan wear, and also there's a lifestyle and essentials side to it that celebrate amazing moments in soccer and music history combined. You know, playing is the most important thing. We host monthly play-for-free pickup games here in Southern California, and we're just getting started. The goal is to eventually do this everywhere and help make playing doable for anyone. Check out The Field Dream on socials and thefieldDream.com for more info and join our team. Okay, I'm going to hand you back to the real host of the pod and get back to the regular programming. Thanks for listening.
Got to give a big shout out to Liquid Death. I've been in a band called H2O for 30 years. And my first real job with a company is a water brand. Go figure. Love you, Liquid Death. Love the people. Love the brand. Love the concept. Love what they give back. Love the community. Love what they do for the environment. You can go liquiddeath.com/OLLC and get free shipping on any of their merchandise that they make. They have such incredible collabs. Also, if you want to hear the story of the CEO, my good friend Mike Cesario, on the podcast, you can go to episode 115, part 1. And then 2 years later, we dropped a part 2, which is episode 275 with the CEO, Mike Cesario. Just a man from Delaware with a dream, worked at a marketing company, and made this become a reality. Liquid Death is an incredible company, incredible water, incredible people. And I'm super, super honored to be part of them. They sponsor my life. They sponsor everything, my family. So go liquiddeath.com/OLLC and get free shipping on anything you want to buy on that site. If you want to get water, it's exclusively on Amazon.com. Murder your thirst, y'all. Welcome to the One Life One Chance podcast. I'm your host, Toby Morse. I wonder if I have to keep introducing myself. It's like 6 years in the game. They know it's me.
Some
they know
people don't know, though.
Yeah,
they might just tune in for the first time.
Okay. Hi, it's me, Toby. My co-host with the most, Mr. Derek Green. Thank you for being here, brother.
Yeah,
Love
what's
having
up?
You. Really appreciate you being here, man, because you're home. You could be in bed. It's like
Absolutely.
Like cold out.
I could be in bed.
But I know you wake up early.
covers.
No, but I appreciate it. The fans love you. They love having you on the pod. They love our conversations. They love what you with you.
Really? You think so?
Bro, you crazy. They love what you contribute to the podcast. They love your knowledge. They love
I try to do my best.
No, you do
know.
great.
It's been a lot of fun.
You're perfect. You're perfect, dude.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate you, man.
Love you, brother. Brothers
Much
for life.
love, homie. Yeah.
Carlos Ramirez, welcome to the podcast. We got Queens in the house today.
Thanks for having me.
Represent Queens.
Thanks for being here.
You know, how do you know when you meet someone that they're from New York?
How?
They tell you within 10 seconds.
Oh, I'm from New York.
Hey, I'm Carlos. Nice to meet you. I'm from New York.
You can
Would you
just
say
tell.
you're from New York or would you say I'm from Queens?
I say I'm from Queens.
Yeah, that's
so
what
my
I would
wife's
think.
from Poughkeepsie, and I go, that doesn't count.
Damn.
Which is going to get me in a lot of hot water because the Hudson Valley, New York,
With Mind Force, bro.
there's a lot of hardcore shit happening.
There is. And they call it Hudson Valley Hardcore, too.
Yeah.
They don't claim NYHC.
Oh yeah. They've
Word?
taken ownership of it, which I love. So it's teasing. I tease my wife.
Right.
It used to be that if you're my age, I would say to people, "Oh, my wife's from your wife's from New York." Yeah, from where? Poughkeepsie. The Chance. Oh yeah, the Chance.
Exactly.
If they played in bands, they probably play the Chance, Crennel Street. Right?
Did you play Poughkeepsie the Chance?
I've never been to Poughkeepsie.
Sepultura has never been there?
No.
Yeah, why would you guys go to Poughkeepsie?
No, I'm not saying like, no.
Well,
What are
the
you, nuts?
Chance,
Legit spot, dude.
And then if you were a little bigger, you'd play the Civic Center,
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that.
the
but-
Mid Hudson Civic Center.
Okay.
All right, so that's my wife. But yeah, I always tell people I'm from Queens specifically, because to me that's important. There's a
for sure.
difference, and there's a difference between
There's
Queens
definitely a difference.
and Brooklyn, and
sure.
Bronx.
Yeah.
But also like NYHC, I guess that always just meant New York City, the city, not really New York State, which is kind of interesting because we got Earth Crisis, Snapcase, Terror originally, Very Live, all from New York.
I mean, technically, they're from the state of New York.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's a big state.
But
man.
when you're talking about New York hardcore, you're
I
talking about
know.
New York City.
New York City.
You know.
And then you have, so it gets even deeper. For example, Harley Flanagan. I interviewed him recently.
That was a great interview, by the way.
Thank
yes.
you, for Trust Records. And I don't know if it was in the interview or off camera, but he made a remark about Queens people coming into
to Manhattan.
for the shows.
Yeah.
And
This is
it's
true.
like, well, yeah, those Queens people, Gorilla Biscuits,
Token entry.
Leeway, Token
Murphy's
Entry,
Law.
Rest in Pieces. I mean,
Ramones.
Yes.
yeah. So let's show a little respect here.
Yeah.
This is very, very true because I'm
Very
a friend.
true.
I have a friend, Sarah Cox. Shout out to Sarah. She's old school, and she grew up in Manhattan, and she would tell me like she remembered when the scene was like changing, and those people were coming in from like Queens and Brooklyn. The scene got a lot more, I guess, violent. She was saying,
And diverse.
and diverse at the
Sure.
same time, but it was
Sunset
definitely
Skins.
like a division, kind of like, oh,
Yeah.
those dudes from like no doubt about that.
A lot of thug life shit
Yeah.
started infiltrating, right? So it was like,
Thugcore.
yeah. So
Thugcore.
Isaac started that shit, by the way.
and where I grew up, I was used to, watching over my shoulder at all times, walking around Roosevelt Avenue or wherever it was, Junction Boulevard. And so you'd go into the city, into the Lower East Side for CB's or some, or the record stores, Bleecker Bob's, all these places.
Yep.
And it was the same thing. You look over your shoulder. There's nothing different there. But it was interesting because my first experience going to shows was metal shows as a young kid. And
Like
L'Amour's.
Wow.
Legendary.
I could get in there at age 13, 14. I'd get in with a fake ID. They didn't care. ID I got from Main Street in Flushing. Shout out to Flushing. Busy Bee.
I still live in Flushing. That's where I first moved. Yes.
Yep.
Wow.
People know. But anyway, yeah. So L'Amour, metalheads were metalheads. All of a sudden, you started seeing that crossover, and you start seeing like the Marauder shows and that kind of stuff. And there was Thug Life now. The element changed a bit.
Right.
But I was used to that, being a Latino kid from the inner city. So I can imagine a suburban kid being shocked by it, maybe, or maybe a little put off by it, but or maybe excited by it. I don't know.
Yeah,
probably a little of both.
Yeah.
I think it was very scary for people who'd probably go L'Amour's back in the day, or even CB's as a young person coming to the scene.
Toby,
terrifying. Yeah.
From where I lived to get to L'Amour,
Jackson Heights.
Yeah, by subway, it took a long time. Now, getting there, you're fired up. You're so excited to get there. You start walking up in Bay Ridge. You start getting closer to the club. You see all the people hanging out inside. You see the awning. You're fucking like, this is the best. You see the flyers. So the next show is coming up. On the way home, like at 3 a.m.
Oh yeah.
It sucked because it would be like one train per hour. And if you missed it, you were stuck on that platform in the freezing cold. And then you would also get on the train and it was sketchy as hell. You get home, it takes like 90 minutes back to Queens, which is absurd.
Yeah, that is absurd. That's
when you
crazy.
could drive home at that time and it'd be faster, but
who's driving? Yeah,
I know.
Was that the NYer train?
I forgot what train it was, but I lived. I lived by the 7 train, the E, the F, the RG. All the trains. I was in the center of it all, so that wasn't a problem. It was just getting to Bay Ridge, Brooklyn was far.
Yeah,
that was like a suburban part of Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so you growing up out there, you said one brother. That's it.
I had a younger brother who passed away.
Oh man, sorry, man.
In his 20s, he was wrapped up in shit. He was, he shouldn't have been wrapped up in, and he was murdered.
Damn.
Wow, and that fucks, fucked my mind up. Fucked our family up. It was.
I can't imagine, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I joke around about this stuff about the hood life and the streets, and all that stuff, but it hit home. For in my case, it's interesting because it's like a love-hate relationship with that kind of thing, that element.
Yeah.
I romanticize it. I still do. I'm guilty of that. But at the same time, I resent it, and I wanted to get away from it as soon as I could, and I kind of did. But it's still part of you, and I try to get the cultural, the music, the movies, that kind of stuff. I do love that.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's a tough thing, but it really is. People I grew up with, a lot of them didn't get out of it, and we know how that story ends.
For sure.
How old were you when this happened?
My brother was, so that happened in 2002. I don't know. I was born in 75, so whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Was he going to shows with you guys?
He was 3 years younger. No, he was
lifestyle.
He was all about hip hop. He didn't.
Oh, okay.
And reggae, but specifically he, like Buju Banton and that kind of stuff. VP Records, he was into that.
Wow.
And hip hop, freestyle music. For people who don't know what freestyle music is,
Queens, man.
It's very Queens, very Brooklyn. So I was into all that stuff too, but he
really.
A big time, but he didn't care about metal or hardcore. He thought it was corny as fuck. He thought it was a white boy shit.
Yeah, that white boy stuff.
Yeah, why are you trying to be white? Like, why,
Wow.
I've heard that before many times.
Oh, I'm sure you have, more than I have. Where you grew up especially, right? But I dealt with that all the time, growing up, especially, wearing a Slayer shirt or whatever shirt, in school. Like, why you like that devil shit, bro?
Yeah, the devil
fuck
stuff
out of here
too.
with
I
that.
forgot about that comment
And then I'd be like, you don't you don't know how hard this shit is. This shit is hard.
Yeah.
And I thought a lot of Latinos love metal.
Oh, they do. They do.
But there's another
not
side.
back then, at
Not
least
back
where I
then,
grew
maybe.
up.
Right.
You go to a metal show, especially out here, a metal one, a Sepultura show,
Yeah.
or it's going to be a lot of Mexicans and El Salvadorians. And you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I'm Colombian and Ecuadorian,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So
these
where
guys
I
from Colombia,
where I grew up
Awesome.
was a lot of South Americans and Puerto Ricans. Shout out to Beto, who I went to high
Beto.
school with.
Do you know Gus?
But-
Gus Pena?
I've met Gus.
Okay.
It's funny because Gus lives not far from where I live, but I've yet to see him. I haven't seen him.
Oh, in this moment in life?
Yeah, he lives.
Wow.
Gus Pena lives in Valley Village.
I did not know that.
You know Andrew Klein from
course,
Strife, who's
yeah.
been on your show.
Yep.
Andrew's told me, he's like, Gus lives here, but
Wow,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to Gus Straight.
And Franklin,
Of course.
legend from Crown of Thorns.
I said him on the pod too. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I love him. He lives near us too, and he said the same thing. He's like, Gus lives here, but anyway. But yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So
about that.
there's a
Wow.
lot. There's a lot of luminaries, Hispanic hardcore luminaries I grew up around, but they would probably say the same thing. It was a lot of like, why do you listen to that shit for? You know, that's for white
okay.
people or whatever.
So you found metal first before the hardcore.
Metal, Kiss was like huge for me, big time. I still am. I'm a nerd for Kiss.
Awesome.
That's my shit.
Very much so, too.
Oh,
You
I
know,
love
if
it.
it's between the Discord house photo or sitting in front of where Paul Stanley grew up, I'm going to Paul Stanley.
Damn.
Kew Gardens.
Respect.
Shout out to Kew Gardens, Queens.
Wow.
No, but yeah, Kiss was the first. That's the foundation for and the Bee Gees.
Yes.
You know what
Wow,
I mean?
Bee
Love
Gees
the
are
Bee
incredible,
Gees.
man.
Yeah,
Much
nice
respect to
too.
the Bee Gees. I love
So growing up
Oh,
listening to music in the house, like what was it
music
like growing
geek,
up? Yeah.
music geek. I listen. You know, I would like anyone else my age make mixtapes off the radio, cut off the DJ. You know,
Right.
just right at that moment, rewind, cut it off. So I listen to all Guido shit, like a lot of freestyle. You know, TKA.
Oh, I TKA.
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
Hoy used
all
to
that
always
stuff.
rock that stuff.
Yeah, hell yeah. A lot of freestyle. I go out to the freestyle fest out here when they'll have like 20
Damn.
artists on a bill. I'll go to that.
That's awesome.
I'd rather go to that than a hardcore fest.
I get it, man. So you
Yeah.
grew up, your neighborhood shit, all that stuff.
Another
yeah.
reason is they come out, do two, 3 hits, and then they move on.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? There's no setup.
Yeah.
They're just singing to tracks. They're singing, but it's the tracks.
Yeah.
There's no pretense. It's just like, we're going to do the hits, and then we're going to get the fuck off the stage.
I love that.
There's no speech about unity or
Right.
about move to
Right.
the front. It's
Yeah,
just like,
move to
it's
the
just,
front.
here are the hits.
Come on,
and
more
kinda
stage
like
dives.
that.
Yeah.
yeah, enjoy yourself.
I've noticed that so much more now than ever.
What?
The whole like coach mentality on stage, like,
Yeah.
all right, team, here we go.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know?
Scott Vogel set that off for more stage dives. He's a really wonderful front man. He gets the most
I'm not
love.
calling anybody.
No, I'm gonna say, but
I've just noticed that it's much more.
oh, because
than,
we could talk about Sam too from Drain. He was running that crowd at the Palladium.
no, like more than anything
'Cause-
ever, like in many different scenes.
There's a lot of new kids coming too. They kind of be told.
You're
like,
talking about the best out there though. Sammy, Scott Vogel.
correct.
Right, yeah,
These
yeah.
are
Correct.
these are the best.
Get
But
the
yeah,
crowd going.
yeah. So,
Right.
but yeah, all
Back to you.
all
Yeah.
kinds of music. Music obsessed. Still am. Like it's if anything, it's worse now than ever
Yeah.
because now I have more money to indulge in books and you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's obsession.
And so
Obsession.
how was it
level.
growing
Yeah.
up there, going to school in your life before all that hardcore
I was,
and stuff?
a decent student. I took it seriously until high school. Then I started drifting off because I was going to more shows. At that point, I didn't. I could just. I got a car as soon as I could drive. Even people think that if you grew up in New York City, you never drive. And I know there are people that I know that didn't get their license till their 30s. I got my license ASAP because I wanted to go and have the freedom to go wherever I wanted to go.
Yeah.
I told DeWitt this. I saw him at that show a couple of weeks ago that you were at too,
Yep.
out in the OC. I would drive. They couldn't play New York, in the 90s, right? We all know why.
Mm-hmm.
I would drive to go see Integrity, or
Wow.
that's just one band. It didn't matter. I loved going Reading, Pennsylvania. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I made it out alive, being Hispanic guy.
yeah.
As you know why I'm bringing that up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But freedom. The car was freedom. So I would drive to shows and go to record stores on Long Island or Jersey. Vintage vinyl.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean?
Discovery. I loved all that stuff. Yeah.
Anything to help my music obsession, I was going to take it on. But normal upbringing. I wasn't. I had most of my people I grew up with who were involved in bullshit. I I just went to the music. So they would turn to me for music, mixtapes, rap mixtapes.
Yep.
You know, underground hip hop. I grew up with people that became, part of the rap scene, and I put out a record. Not me as an artist, but I put out a record for one of my friends who's a rapper.
Awesome,
so I was always involved in different types of music.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of playing music, I never did rap or freestyle.
Yeah.
I could have done freestyle probably. You
never rhymed or nothing either. You never rhymed and stuff. No.
No, I never
Did
rhymed.
you do graffiti?
I never did graffiti. No. But you grow up there, you were around it.
For sure, man.
I tell people this all the time. At age 50, so I grew up in the 80s and the 90s in New York City. During a time, I was born in 75. That's when New York was at its lowest in terms of, they always say it was almost bankrupt. The city was in bad shape. But it cultivated this amazing scene for artists to move to and to live in these tenements and start these bands and start doing art, and they could live in a loft for $300 a month.
Crazy.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And they came to New York because it was a mecca. It had the reputation, even though it was a shithole at the time. It had that reputation. So in the 80s, you had all the stuff sprouting, Run DMC. I mean,
yes,
insane.
Yes.
You joke around about it, but freestyle, that was Latino kids with drum machines and keyboards that couldn't afford to do a band, but they started doing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a lot of hardcore. There was a lot of stuff that was just very DIY and right place and time. And we had great radio stations, we had Mr. Magic.
Yes.
We had we had all those mix shows, and that was making mixtapes at home on your TDK tapes. That was a dream, because he would make, these DJs were doing them for you. And where a lot of my friends would like that stuff, and they would love rap, especially. It wasn't enough for me just to like it. I need to know everything about it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So who produced Run DMC? This guy Larry Smith. Well, who's Larry Smith? And then
wow.
Let's look at the liner notes. That's how I grew up, and
that's awesome.
I'm still like that.
Yeah.
And not because I wanted to know more and be the know-it-all. It's just this need. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it's a love for it.
But it saved my life. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like people, in those kind of situations and those in that time, if they weren't, where I grew up, there was a lot of other shit that was a little more enticing, maybe.
Yeah.
But that was my thing. It was just like
music. Yeah.
Liner notes. What is a zine? Let me get one.
Yeah.
And
what shirts are they wearing? All that stuff. Yeah.
And being in New York City, you can go to get a zine in the Village,
totally, man.
at Sea Here or wherever.
Mm-hmm.
Tower even had zines. So
So
true. Some people, maybe even my same age, Kentucky didn't have that. They had to work a little harder.
For sure.
Right? So, or a lot harder. Different now with the internet, but man, I'm so happy that I grew up time and place in New York.
Same, man. Yeah, man. Just being out there and being outside and going to shows, and like you said, record stores and discovering things and skating and everything, man.
I'd walk out of my building and walk 2 blocks to Roosevelt Avenue, where the 7 train is, and it's just alive. Kids were everywhere playing, all that stuff. The cliche is opening the fire hydrant, the water, and the kids running around. The Latino kids, that was how I grew up. And it was like that. It's not like that now. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to get into why it's like that. That's a whole long, boring, but it was definitely like that. My wife always asks me about that. She's very intrigued.
Where's she from?
Poughkeepsie.
Oh,
She's
yeah,
one,
that's right. Sorry.
Right. It's okay.
Yeah.
She's from, and she was born, with academics as parents in a very different world. So, but she's always asking me like, oh my God, when we watch a movie or a documentary or something that's in that time and place in New York, she's like, I can't believe that's how you grew up. I'm like, yeah, it was like that. I watched the Martin Scorsese documentary on HBO.
Great.
Yeah,
it's great.
And he talks about Corona, and I grew up, right next to Corona. And
so where he's from?
Yeah.
Queens.
Yeah.
Mm.
So again, just very fortunate. That's just time and place.
Yeah.
Now you can ask my parents, my mom, who's still alive, who lives now with us, and she'll say, "Oh, I wish I could have done better for you." I'm like, "Mom, you know what? It was great.
Yeah.
It was
You
great.
latchkey kids too. You guys are outside.
We were
all the
latchkey
time.
kids.
Yeah. Your dad was a yellow cab driver, correct?
My dad drove a yellow cab,
Wow.
and then my mom was a stay-at-home mom, and then he opened up a Colombian restaurant in Woodside.
It's cool. Woodside, Queens.
Woodside, Queens. And so when that happened in 86,
Was he born in the US?
No, my father was born in Colombia. My mom was born in Ecuador.
Oh, wow.
They met in Queens in the late 60s.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So when he opened up the restaurant, my mom was in the restaurant helping him, and they were never home. So,
Right.
you know.
You got to be there all the time with the restaurant.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
It's brutal. And
You're in
and
the
yeah,
streets, you're out.
my brother, was unfortunately,
right.
in some ways I feel guilty about that. Maybe I should have watched him better, but I did my best. He was just going to do what he was going to do.
Were you guys tight?
No, we weren't tight for the reasons I brought up earlier. He didn't really agree or understand where I was coming from.
Yeah.
He, like, he, and I would say, I listen to the same shit you listen to too. I just listen to other stuff too. And it just wasn't, it's because I wasn't, a hood. We call them hoods back then.
For
I don't know
sure.
what they call them now, but
New York hoods, man.
we call them hoods. It's like I wasn't a hood. I was just a music nerd,
Yeah.
and he was a hood.
He was in the streets.
He was a hood kid. He was graffiti. He was
he getting locked up a bunch too?
He got locked up. I had to bail him out a few times. He was
Wild
in
kid.
that. A good person who just didn't think for himself.
You got caught up. Yeah.
Didn't think for himself. Clout, all that was important to him. Where to me, it has never been.
For sure.
I'd rather hang out with people like you and share stories about music.
Yeah.
And then even the coolest people I met when I interned, or maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I'll just say this. I remember interning at Roadrunner in the 90s and meeting some of those people that at that time especially, I was a little more green about things and kind of naive. I thought, if you put a record out on Roadrunner, you're set for life. You own a house in New Jersey or wherever, and you got chicks, you got you're a Motley Crue. You might as well be a Motley Crue. I really was that kind of naive about things in a way.
Damn.
But you meet these people, and when it comes down to it, they're nerds.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're nerds.
Absolutely.
Just like I am,
100%.
But we love shit that the average person, like to the point where it's not enough just to listen to it.
Yeah.
We have to become involved with it.
For sure, man.
And if it's not in a band, it's to write about it or to work at a label or to roadie or whatever it is.
For sure,
we want to
man.
be around it all the time. you know?
Always do. Yeah.
So yeah,
You're obsessed with it.
obsessed.
What was your first show? Was it a show or a concert?
The first concert was, I went to see the Jacksons,
Wow.
the Victory Tour.
Oh my God.
Michael
bro.
Jackson was a big thing for me.
That's
Incredible.
incredible.
I mean,
dude.
I think for a lot
of people,
You ever
right?
seen
A lot of
the
people.
Jacksons?
No.
What the
I
Yeah.
wish.
That new
I
trailer
saw the
looks sick too.
I know it does. I know there's a lot of baggage there, but
Okay, let's go.
but yeah.
Man.
But anyway,
Michael
yeah.
Jackson.
I saw Menudo. You know Menudo?
Yeah, of
Fuck
course.
yeah.
I saw
dude.
Menudo at MSG with my cousins.
That's another crazy story.
That was
Oh yeah,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
that was I know.
Yeah.
They were huge for me in our community. They were huge.
Nice.
So
Go
those
back
were
to the Jacksons. The Jacksons. That must have been incredible.
the Jacksons. I just remember a lot of explosions, a lot of pyro. I hadn't seen Kiss. I didn't see Kiss until years later when they were obviously not in makeup, and then I saw them with the makeup many times.
Oh, the first time you saw him was without
the makeup. I was too little. I was too
Damn.
little, and my parents were. The reason I saw the Jacksons is because my cousins who were older, they were teenagers. They took me. I was very young. Menudo the same thing, but I was so excited.
Wow.
And to see music, it was so weird because to see them singing live, I remember thinking to myself, are they really singing or is this a record? Like I didn't, I was too little to understand
you
it.
get
I just
it,
remember
yeah.
the pyro. I remember the girls screaming, girls crying for both concerts.
Yeah.
A lot more Hispanic people than the Menudo one, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were the first like heavy shows. Like I saw, Metallica, Ozzy, all of the above as a young kid. In grade school, even junior high school, I started going to thrash shows. So Testament, Megadeth, Slayer, Death Angel, Forbidden.
It's all Derek shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I ended up knowing about these bands. I was never a fan of these bands at that time.
Until
Right,
later.
right.
Right.
We were too
much
hardcore back then.
Yeah,
right,
I was
right.
like,
Yeah.
So yeah, it was metal first. So it was definitely. But it's funny because I remember there were certain parts in thrash songs where it would slow it down a little bit, like chun, 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 and you would always think to yourself, or at least I did, I wish there were songs that were just that part.
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wish it was less just speed all the time.
Do you think
Yeah.
Pantera really took that?
This is
the
pre
level?
Pantera. I think
No, I mean like when they entered, like they kind of had that.
they did.
Yeah.
But do you know who I think did it first? In two bands for me.
Okay.
Prong.
Wow.
And,
yes,
and,
true.
and Prong was produced by Terry Date, who
Mhm.
Pantera, it's the same producer for Pantera.
I don't know Terry Date produced. Which
He produced he produced Beg to Differ. If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I know.
yeah, that was the one with the three guys on the cover. Like
Unless-
it was Puss had drawn.
I know Mark Dodson also produced them.
I
but
wouldn't
anyway.
question anything Carlos was saying about any of this
Hey,
information.
I'm pretty sure he did.
He
But,
knows shit.
but anyway,
Terry Date
no
is
matter who
huge.
produced it,
Right.
Yeah.
Prong for me, I remember it was one of the first bands to really write in that groove.
True.
Yeah.
And have it so locked in where it sounded almost mechanical, but still funky.
It's a great point,
It's weird.
actually.
Very good
Ted
point.
Ted
I
Parsons, the
remember that
drummer
very
on
specifically. Yeah.
yeah,
Ted Parsons.
Ted Parsons is a sick drummer. He was in Swans and all that, but when I was a kid, I didn't know about Swans. I
Yeah,
just like this guy from Prong. You know what I mean?
Right.
Until later, I realized, oh, he had this other kind of stuff happening.
Who was the other one?
Leeway had that
Sure,
like
dude.
or at least did it to that level where it was like, Jesus, this is so fucking nasty. You
Dude, I
know?
wish Leeway was massive and bigger than
I
they
know,
were, man. It
man.
was
That
so
really-
incredible,
it
dude.
moved
Leeway,
me.
hearing, yeah,
Moved me.
I didn't hear the Leeway demos until after the fact. The first time I heard Leeway was when the album came out, and I've written all the liner notes for their records, the reissues. I'm like the
awesome,
Leeway. I'm like the Leeway.
That's amazing,
AJ
man.
texts me any Leeway thing. He's like, Carlos, check in on this. What's going on?
You're fact checking this shit.
Yeah, like,
wow, dude.
there's something out there that's not true. But Leeway, Born to Expire, was done a year before it came out, so it's even more innovative in that sense. If it would have came out a year prior,
That's
here-
why it took a year to come out. You're right.
that album is ahead of its time. I
Sure.
thought they were going to be huge.
So-
I remember
Me
playing
too.
it for people, my metalhead friends, and
The production is incredible.
incredible,
Yeah.
incredible,
Still to this day.
incredible.
Yeah.
And
Especially
to
at
this
that
day,
time. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
it's holds up. It's
Yeah.
insane how much it holds up. I've seen people talk about Normandy sound and say bad things about it, but I don't know, man. For me, I love those records.
Oh,
Everything
yeah.
that came
Man.
out at that era,
yeah.
That was in Rhode Island, right?
yes.
yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
Born to Expire was a revelation. The fact that they were from Queens,
Maybe.
whoa,
Yeah.
holy shit, oh my god,
So
it's
many
like
great
fu-
bands from Queens, though.
Toby, it's like when I found out Gene Simmons and Paul Stanley were from Queens. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, people say Ramones. Ramones is Ramones, but Leeway is from Queens. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
It's
I'm
pretty crazy, dude.
yeah, Paul Simon and Garfunkel from Queens, awesome. But Leeway's from Queens. AJ and Eddie are from Queens.
Yeah. AJ.
So-
Shout out to AJ.
Yes,
Yeah,
you're
man.
discovering
And
this
rest
world
in
and you're
peace,
realizing
Eddie.
that, there's like local bands.
Local bands.
crazy,
And
man.
I saw Leeway at Lemoore, opener for Biohazard. And I remember Evan. No, sorry. Biohazard played first. This is before they had an album out. Then Leeway, and then Exodus. Exodus were the headliners. It was a
sick. That's a sick one.
fabulous disaster tour for Exodus. I love that album.
Who was singing? I'm sorry.
And Exodus?
Yeah.
It was Zetro still.
Okay.
Yeah, it was still him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Is Leeway the first kind of hardcore band you found through metal?
no. First,
What would that
That's a
have
good
been?
question.
first hard. I feel like I've answered this differently because it's hard to remember specifically. Definitely, I remember the Chromax video for "We Gotta Know" on Headbangers
Of
Ball.
course,
Me
yeah.
too, man.
Yeah.
Headbangers Ball. The last half. It was a 3-hour show on Saturday. Started at 11. The last half hour is when they played the stuff that was a little bit left of center.
Yeah.
And as a music nerd, you waited for that last half hour because the rest of it was like what you would expect, like Poison and stuff like that,
Yeah.
But they were playing during the day anyway, so you were like, why aren't they going to play St. Vitus or play something, something
Right,
little
right.
crazier? And I remember seeing the video for "We Gotta Know," and it's if you remember the video, it's
I
like
remember every aspect
compilation
of
of like
Everything,
yeah,
dude.
it's like just like B-roll footage,
Yeah,
which is my
yeah.
favorite type of shit,
Right.
The scary face he makes.
Scary
all that
face.
everything.
And John Joseph looked like a soldier or something. You know what I mean?
Like-
Tough. Tough.
Yeah, military
I
warrior,
watched
man.
that
Yeah.
like 20 million times on
Dude,
VHS.
The flip he
Like,
does
let's-
in the video.
Let's rewind it again. Let's
Yo, the
watch
flip
it.
at the end.
Oh yeah,
And I have to admit something
the
about
editing was great for that.
Oh, incredible. And I have to admit something about hardcore and the preconceived notions I had about it to a point. And this comes from just ignorance. I thought that hardcore shows, there would be a lot of white power people there, which is crazy because in New York City, that wouldn't fly, right?
No.
So I was always a little bit like, I don't know, man. There's like skinheads, and I thought skinheads meant Nazi.
Of course.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Everybody did.
oh, and then the Chromax video, I'm like, what's going on here? Are they, you know what I mean? Like, what's going on?
Yeah,
You know
I
what I
thought
mean?
it was a little
Yeah.
sus.
I had no
Sure.
idea. You know what I mean?
No, it's
But-
true though.
But I mean, to this day, you hear that drum. That's how it starts off with that,
Wow.
hit. And so that's one where I think, at least where it started forming in my head, like, man, I gotta.
What about Crumbsuckers?
Crumbsuckers was huge.
Yeah,
Crumbsuckers
had that metal element.
They
They
did.
were great players.
They
man.
did, and they opened up. I went to a lot of Long Island shows at Sundance and
I used to go to Sundance.
Right
yeah.
Track In.
Yeah, right track in. Yeah.
And Crumbsuckers would get some of those slots opening for like the thrash bands.
Yeah,
So that's another way I would start seeping in there a little bit. When those bands start opening for the metal bands, and I remember metalheads standing there with their arms crossed. I'm like, but they have short hair. How could this be good?
yeah.
But I was like, whoa. And the other thing about Crumbsuckers too is people hate their second album.
Yeah, they hate Beast on My Back.
They hate Beast on My Back. I remember people like older, back then older meant like 3 years. And
hating
they might as well be old men. They'd be like, you like that album? It's fucking whack. Shit sucks.
Totally remember this.
Shit's
yeah.
gay, bro. You gotta
yeah.
listen to the first album. Like, the first album was good. The second one's sick.
yeah.
Well, what happened was they got different members who can
Yeah.
play guitar, and they're not going to play the same 3 riffs ever. They're going to play, show off a little bit, And I like that. It's like, I tell AJ with Mike Gibbons and Leeway, I'm like, you needed Mike in the band because he was the metal guy. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Sorry.
What about Nuclear Assault?
Sorry. He doesn't feel that way,
Was it
probably.
Nuclear Assault? Danny wasn't that Queens?
Yeah,
too?
Danny Lilker, man.
Yeah, legend.
I
Dude.
love Danny.
Danny
Danny's-
Lilker's
shout out
I mean,
to Danny, man.
you're talking about a treasure of
Oh, yeah.
New York. Now, we're on a tangent here, but let's continue, right?
Yes.
This is what I love to do.
I know.
You're talking about Danny Lilker, Queens OG.
Oh yeah, legend.
People have feelings about Scott Ian, right? A lot of baggage there.
Yes.
Scott Ian to me is a fucking G.
Oh,
Rhythm
Agreed.
guitar,
100%. I agree.
riff. He's insane, right? And Dan Lilker and Scott Ian grew up together. They went to high school together. Anthrax early on. These are people that, for me, gave me like, wow, they're from here, And in the case of both of them, they don't like necessarily look like rock gods.
No.
To be honest with you,
no,
right?
man.
But fuck, Dan Lilker, and then Craig Satari always says like Dan Lilker is my bass tone, like that's my guy.
Well, yeah, those guys are super tight too.
Right?
Makes sense. Yeah.
So yeah, man.
And Johnny Thunders went to your high school?
Johnny Thunders from Jackson Heights. I'm pretty
crazy.
sure he went to Newtown. Pretty sure. You know who
Nato
went to
went to your
Newtown?
school, yeah.
Gene Simmons and Don Rickles,
Wow,
Dude.
no way.
Carol O'Connor, Archie Bunker. Went to my high school.
They got
know what I'm
crazy
saying?
knowledge,
Oh my
man.
God.
Damn.
Yeah, it's got some.
You know every musician.
Estee
from-
Lauder went to my high school,
Stay alive.
which is very that's so different from the other ones. But yeah,
You know everybody from Queens, every musician?
I know everything about Queens.
Okay.
I'm a Queens. I'm a but this is again the irony of it is that I've been here. It's going to be 20 years in May, and the first thing you want to go back, and I always say no. I love LA.
Yeah.
I fucking love LA.
Wow.
Warts and all, man.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. Nor is New York.
You're a New York native too, man. So that's a lot.
I
yeah.
love being from New York and from the era I'm from, but I don't long to live there ever again. I'm cool with it. It's fine, but it's just not. I'm happy where I am.
You got
but
your mom out here too. That's
My mom
awesome.
lives here
Yeah.
now, but I love. I'm proud of New York, and I always like to remind people. It's not. See, the thing is with Queens, it's especially in the last 30 years with the gentrification of Brooklyn, and all the hipster white people moving there.
Yeah,
It's gotten a different kind of thing to it now,
for sure.
and it's like Queens is not as cool in a lot of people's eyes. So I always have to say, no. Queens has a lot of culture, a lot of cool shit
Sure.
that you like that we've contributed to. So that's all.
Yeah,
Brooklyn is Brooklyn. Brooklyn's legendary.
It is,
It's iconic.
man.
I love Brooklyn.
I remember going to
but-
recording in Dumbo in 1999 with Brett Gurewitz, and it was sketchy at Dumbo.
Yeah.
And now it's so different.
I know, right?
I heard
It's
Flushing,
insane.
Queens hasn't changed that crazy. Is that am I wrong?
Flushing is this Chinese food mecca. You
Yeah,
know, that's
man.
it's
Wow.
become
New York
more.
is a Chinese food mecca.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, so that's in terms of Queens and pop culture, I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. And I always learn something new.
What about Hollis, Queens? You been there?
Oh yeah.
Relativity Records.
Relativity Records.
Mm-hmm.
Isaac used to work there. Fat Joe was on there. Sick of it all.
Shout out
Howie
to
Abrams.
Howie Abrams.
Legend.
Howie.
I just got hit up today about an Effect project, so
Wow.
that I said I'd love to be involved. So
So
you know-
Chromax and MTV as your first hardcore band.
I'm pretty sure that was one of the first. That's definitely the first visual in a video, at least.
Right.
And then the one that I listened or watched.
Yeah, went
over-
from there to there. Yeah.
The one I watched over and over again, I had it. I owned I had a dubbed, VHS bootleg from someone else gave it to me. DRI Live at the Ritz.
I was gonna say that was my second one where it's like that really switched in my mind about this metal
Crossover.
hardcore
Yeah.
coming thrash and
Yeah,
it was what is it crossover album?
yeah,
Yeah,
I saw them on that tour. And
It's
I
a
was
crossover.
Like, damn.
Well, yeah, and it was at the Ritz. And shout out to Gavin from Absolution from Burn. He's
Legend.
Absolution.
in the video punching someone in the face because he's working security. Yeah, I've asked him this. And he said, yeah, that was me.
Gavin's a badass.
But I remember
man.
thinking to myself, who's that guy? And then there was a big black dude in the back wearing a Token Entry shirt. I go, Token Entry shirt? What is that?
Wow. You like
In
really
that
broke
video?
it down.
Yeah.
Holy
Oh my
shit.
god! I gotta
And he
we gotta
dances a
rewatch
bit.
this today.
He's moshing a little bit.
Yeah.
I forgot his name. I'm sorry, but he's apparently he was a guy
Who
who
was a
everyone
legend
knew.
in New York.
Right.
Yeah,
probably,
Gavin told me. Gavin's like, yeah, that's so and so. I forgot his name. Sorry, but yeah, that's some
Damn,
more folklore to look into.
And
but
then you find Token Entries from Queens.
from Queens, so
Astoria.
so that DRI video was interesting because it's nonstop, moshing and shit. But within the video, there's like little clips where they do interviews. And they show some B-roll of them playing somewhere else, and that show looked fucking violent. And I'm like, I think it was in Texas where
Yeah,
they're
that's where
originally
they're
from.
from.
Yeah,
Mm.
and it was like, damn. I'll be honest with you, a little intimidating. I was 13, 14.
Yeah.
But it was a little intimidating. But I watched that video over and over again. I meet people years later, same thing. It was we didn't have YouTube to go to watch Hate 5-6 videos or whatever.
True.
So you wanted to see this shit, and the first song in that video, I lose, you win, I lose,
good.
you win, and then at the end, I win. The 5-year plan, fucking hard,
Hard.
hard,
So true.
Damn.
hard, hard,
All right.
hard.
So what's the first hardcore band you see after that? Live.
I want to say Leeway.
Okay.
You
Leeways,
know,
yeah.
I want to say Leeway.
Are you in high school then?
I was 8th grade maybe, or
Fuck,
going into
that's
high school.
young, dude.
So like
Wow.
88, 89.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah.
you were young too when you
No, I
went
know.
to
I
the
know.
show.
Yeah, that's sure true.
Yeah. I was lucky enough to have older friends, meaning they
Yeah.
were just a few years older.
Yep.
But that's a big difference when you're that age.
Oh yeah.
And that they were also latchy kids, and they were also very like they don't give a fuck. So, there was no. I never had a curfew. They didn't have. It was
Your
just
parents trusted you though.
they trusted me. They
Were
trusted
you like
me
a
for
wild
sure.
kid, or like
No, I didn't give them reason to.
when you partying and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I drank and yeah.
But you were good in school and you graduated.
I was good in school. I've never had a drinking problem or I smoke weed
Yeah.
still, but I was never I never had that person as addicted as I am to music.
Yeah,
it never
yeah.
went into vices like that, luckily.
Great, man. Yeah.
But I did, I learned quickly how to adapt in situations like at a show. If we got backstage at Sundance or Lemoore through a friend of mine or something, I learned really quick to just observe, listen, and just
Yeah.
sit in the corner. Just be a
Sponge,
wallflower.
yeah,
Yeah,
man, sure.
don't be annoying. Don't be a fucking Punisher.
Very true.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So
scary characters back then too.
oh
you
yeah,
talk to,
and you, Toby, another thing too is I'm seeing to use Sepultura as an example. I remember being at Lemoore and being backstage. One of my friends' bands were playing opening local band and seeing Igor and seeing Andreas, like you might as well have been Led Zeppelin to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but I never got in their face, and I was just, what I mean? It's just been respectful. Not that I didn't want to talk to them, because I admire these people. I want to talk to them. I want to interview them in a way.
Yeah.
I want to learn more about them. But it's not because I didn't want to talk to them, or I think I'm better. It was just I don't want to be annoying.
Yeah, for sure.
I hear that,
and people don't, adults don't know that.
Right.
Sure,
Yes,
sure.
adults usually don't. I mean, as an artist now, it's like the kids that I think are the most interesting are the ones that are sitting in the corner or on the side. I'm always like, what's up with that guy?
Yeah.
Because that was like me. I like to be the fly on the wall, so to speak. And so for me, I'm more like interested in those type of people. I'm like, bring him over, like, what's up with this dude? He's like a loner, by themselves, and they're there, and I'm always like, this cool. This guy's cool. He's just kind of,
he got in here somehow, so he knows someone or something. Yeah.
So I respect that.
Yeah. There was, this story's been told before by this guy, Chris Gethard. He's a famous comedian, grew up in New Jersey. I guess he was at one of our shows back in the day, and he came from whatever he was going through. He was just sitting by himself next to a pinball machine. And I walked backstage and saw this little kid sitting. I was like, hey, man. I introduced myself as, hey, you good? He goes, yeah, I'm good. I said, what's your name? And I introduced him, and then he stood up, and then I shook his hand, and he said that moment for him, just me acknowledging somebody sitting in the corner like that, like just kind of, I don't know, just really inspired him. So he talks about, I don't even remember doing that, but of course, to see a kid in the corner sitting at a hardcore show by yourself.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you want to talk to.
Definitely,
that was you. You're observing it all. Yeah.
I remember when I was interning, there would be certain musicians who would come in and they go, "Oh, what are you doing in here?" I'd say, "Oh, I'm making mailers, mailing out tapes, promos,
doing that,
that kind of stuff." And the ones that came over to talk to me and take a second, I worked a little harder for them. You know what I mean? Like, And I gave them. I thought about their band more, or it just changed. They
saw you and they spoke to you.
And they know I'm helping them. I'm trying to help them, in my small way. So but you got to lay in the cut.
Yep.
Don't be annoying. Don't be a punisher. There's a time and place to punish. I punish. Believe me, I punish.
Yeah.
I'll ask questions that are really like, they'll go, whoa, because it's a nerd question.
If I'm with H2O somewhere and there's a punisher, Adam Blake sends to the group text, it's a gif of Evan punching his bass from the punishment video.
That's great.
That's amazing.
That's great.
It's just like bum 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 bum.
How great! By the way, how great is that video?
It's crazy, man.
It's one of the most.
Those videos are
it's
crazy.
Fascinating. I wish
that's in those videos
are fascinating.
There should be a documentary about the video.
And everybody in it.
Everybody in. Where are they now?
In pre-band. A lot of them had bands hadn't started yet.
Who ended up in prison? Who didn't? Who's alive? Who's not?
That's a great.
That'd
be a sick episode, dude.
It's like
dissecting the biolized videos.
Dissecting videos in general, I think it's fascinating.
Totally.
But those videos showed the world. New York at that moment, every single character, every single fucking psycho friend that we had were all in those videos, but a lot of them were in bands or about to be in a band.
True.
How about this? Can you imagine being like in the other part of the world and seeing that video?
That's what I'm saying. Europe, whatever.
Your mind is blown.
Totally blown.
Roger with this no shirt on with the overalls.
Completely.
Everybody's in those videos. I missed one. I'm in Shades of Grey, but not in Punishment. I was on
Shades of Grey is hard too.
Sick one.
That's Drew Stone, right?
Yeah.
Did that one too.
Yeah.
He documented that shit so well. It was just perfectly made those videos. And for those to be on MTV all the time was kind of crazy,
It's
man.
crazy. Yeah.
If you watch within the hardcore world currently, it's like Euro hardcore. You know what I mean by that when I say Euro? That's Euro.
Okay.
It's like a diss.
Okay.
Because it's a lot of you watch YouTube and you'll see the videos for those bands and they're all basically doing Punishment. You know what I mean? But
I've seen a couple Madball Prides too.
Yeah.
That's
so
outside, like in like empty, broken down, like
Right.
desolate parking lot.
So for better or for worse, maybe those videos, inspired a lot of,
kind of the
for
blueprint.
sure.
The blueprint.
the blueprint. But
the blueprint.
seriously though, I don't care what anyone tells me. When Punishment came out and Shades of Grey and those videos, and we got to know, seeing these people like that was fascinating.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Who's that?
100%.
Are they in a band?
Yeah.
Wait, in New York, I've seen that guy at shows.
For sure.
Oh, that guy's scary. I've seen him at shows. I saw him at Lemoore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like seeing. I remember seeing as a Hispanic kid. If there was a Hispanic kid in the video,
Dude, Saab and
Who's
Minus
that?
going off during the Bionics.
Black kid,
Yeah,
Asian kid, like
yeah.
I
what?
was always just like, whoa, who's that?
Yeah,
guy?
yeah.
New York was the best. It was
It's
so diverse with all the skinheads. And everything, like Puerto Rican skins, Sunset skins, all those dudes, man. When they came into the scene, like b-boy skins, sneaker skins, it was so different.
Insane. Absolutely. Yeah, it was being so I was right there, but I wasn't part of it. I didn't know, I wasn't friends with any of these people, but I would see them out and about at shows.
Were you intimidated going to shows back then? Were you scared?
For hardcore shows at first I was, because I had this like, I've never been into stage diving. I just like watching.
Okay.
I'm boring.
So you never dived before, really?
Never.
Your whole
never,
life?
Never stage dove.
Wow.
Never have.
That's
I
amazing.
know.
How about head walk now?
No, never. Are you kidding me? Imagine I said yes to that, but not the stage diving. No.
That's cool. You've always been an observer.
Observer,
Yeah, man,
soaking it
yeah.
in. But at first, maybe a little bit, but that wore away quickly.
There was scary dance floors too back then.
There were certain
There was
people.
characters, dude.
Yeah, I mean,
Terrifying, bro.
I watched in the front, and there were certain people that go in there, and it was like if you saw Minus and Saab anywhere
bones.
near, you're walking to the side.
It sticks out. I never forget like those first times like going to shows in New York. Like I wasn't even living in New York, and I would spend like summers there because my sister's 10 years older was going to school in New York, and at one time she was living in Hoboken.
Okay.
And I went to see a show at
Maxwell's,
and it was Leeway.
Ooh.
And I remember just seeing Saab in the pit just like killing kids.
Yeah.
I was just like, who is this crazy dude? It was terrifying. I was like,
Yeah.
this guy is out of his mind, just
Yeah.
destroying kids.
Yeah.
I was just like, yo, this is kind of insane.
I mean, Sick of It All wrote what's going on about the whole thing right now. Now they're using everything from chains to knives and
Right.
guns. That was about that whole thing. But there was also like part of Sick of It All's road crew, which was Fern and Spanish Mike, who were like the gnarliest moshers. Them, Saab, Minus, Rat Bones.
Rat Bones in every
Even like,
fucking show.
and then back to Gingy from Absolutia was an incredible like dancer, and then Chaka Malik,
Yeah.
obviously like spiritual vibes, like so many-
Shaka and Dingy, they had style to it.
Style.
There was like a
Right.
finesse to it, and
Right.
I like that.
yeah.
As opposed to just punching people.
I agree.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
crowd.
Not
all
my
that.
thing.
Me either, man.
Yeah.
But to have flair and just like dance like that, it was
Yeah.
sick. That was sick to watch.
For
Seeing
sure.
that for the first time, someone Mike, Puerto Rican Mike with the book bag.
Yeah.
He used to rock the book bag on stage. I'm like, I saw Shaka do that first though at the Pyramid.
It's true.
It's like,
And-
what do you got in that book bag?
You don't
Yeah.
want to know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Shaka at the Pyramid with the book bag on stage, and I'm like, I see Shaka, in Woodside skateboarding.
Yeah.
When I was younger, he used to skate. My little brother Marco, who passed away, he used to be friends with this crew, Stage Dive. That's what their name was, and that was Shaka. If you ask him about it, he'll say,
That's
he'll probably look at you like, oh shit, that's crazy. You know that, but so I knew of Shaka, and to see him play, I didn't know that he was in a band. I just knew, I never talked to him. I just see him. And I was like, this guy's so fucking dope.
Cool
like,
swag,
he had the flat
everything,
top.
fucking
Yeah,
dreads.
he had like the cuffed, pant. Like he just had style,
always
flair.
had good
For
style.
sure.
Yeah,
man.
as a skater,
Yeah.
and then it's like, oh, he's from Woodside, and then seeing him in Burn, and again at the Pyramid Club, and he had the book bag on, like, that was so sick, so much style,
So much.
and then the music was weird, like Burn is
Yeah.
weird,
So
like single
original,
note
bro.
shit, like
Love it though. dude.
Gavin.
Yeah.
Gavin and Shaka looked like they would not even hang out with each other, but they're on
Right.
stage. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No,
they're just,
you're right. You're right.
it's weird. I love that.
Yo, fun fact: Chaka
Yeah.
Malik brought Isaac to his first show.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
Do you remember what
that's
show?
All
man.
Chaka's fault.
What show was it?
Damn, Chaka?
Shout out to Lord Isaac, my brother. He brought him to his first show. I
Love
don't know
you
what show it
both,
was. I don't
bud.
fucking know, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Damn. So, okay,
So-
back to you in your high school.
Yeah. Newtown. Well, I went to aviation first
Yep.
for 2 years, and then I went to Newtown, which was my zone school.
Okay.
Aviation was thugged out.
Okay.
That was worse than Newtown. Aviation. You know who went to aviation when I went there was Fred Mask. He played in
25 to
25
Life.
to Life. Yeah.
Wow.
They used to call him Captain Caveman because he had long hair and he had a mustache. He looked like a grown man, but he rocked a flight jacket, which back then was like, you're a skinhead.
Yeah.
But he had long hair.
Fast forward.
And he wasn't afraid of anyone. And we talk about this.
Hard rock.
We went to school with Decepticons.
I remember
and
them.
those Deceps would say, yo, Captain Caveman. And
for the listeners, Decepticons was a legendary crew in New York City, man. Like deep.
I can't believe a documentary has been made about them.
Yeah.
Fear in the hearts of many kids who took the subway, including myself.
Yeah.
And I went there for 2 years, and then I went to Newtown, and that's where Beto, Hoya went, and some more hardcore Queen Demise.
Yeah.
Demise.
What was your
thing.
first job? Did you have a job in school?
At the school?
No, a job in life. What was your first job?
Record stores. I worked at a record store
Gotcha.
on West 4th between 6th and 8th Avenue called Discorama.
I remember Discorama.
Yeah. They had a basement where it was all house and like freestyle and
you're
disco.
stoked.
It was a learning experience beyond. I told my wife this recently. I'd learned more about music in those years than anywhere because there were so many employees who just were specialized in things. So I'd pick their brain and punish them. Like, you ever heard Husker Du? I'm like, no, I've seen the name on shirts.
Yeah.
Because bands would work. Like, oh, it's sick. It's like REM, but like hardcore. I'm like, what?
That's a good,
Shit like that. So that was a really big learning. So Discorama. Then I worked at the Virgin Megastore before it opened.
Okay.
We worked in the warehouses on the west side, and then we opened the store, and I worked there for about a year after it opened.
Remember Tower Records on Broadway?
I never worked at Tower.
Legendary, man.
I never worked at Tower.
How about Second Coming Records? Remember that?
Oh yeah, all of the record stores. That's where I'd go. I only bought used records because that's all I had money for.
I met Julian from Still Suit and Isaac.
Oh, wow.
We all met. The first time I met them was all at Second Coming Records because we all worked at different record labels where we stole CDs and sold them.
Yeah.
So we met there, and that's where we became friends. Julian
that's
was a
the thing.
skinhead, yeah.
Being again another benefit in New York, you had all the writers from all the weekly papers and that we had promos, or the employees,
Yes.
or the musicians, and they would bring in their promos to sell them at Bleecker Bob's Second Coming or
Generation.
Yeah. Rebel. So that's where you learned how to find the records of the hole in the corner,
Yes.
punched hole, and I would just buy. It looked cool, I'd buy it. Then you start learning if it has the Revelation Star, it's going to be good. If it has,
Wow.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're a little more adventurous, touch and go might be good.
Damn,
I wasn't ready for some of the touch and go stuff, but when it was fast, I was into it. But
yeah,
I worked at record stores, and then I interned at Roadrunner, and then
when you were in high school,
I was
or after.
It was right after high school.
So what year was
94.
Bro,
Oh shit!
I fucking worked there in like 91 and 2 and 3.
Yeah, so
in the mailroom.
when I interned there, Armando was there.
Yeah,
Remember
Armando from Fahrenheit.
Todd from H2O was in
Todd Friend.
Yeah, Blue Grape.
Blue Grape.
He was in the Blue Grape in that room, and
we all worked there, dude.
yeah, it was.
Damn.
I interned for Sophie Diamantis.
I remember Sophie,
and Sue
yeah.
Marcus.
Sue Marcus, she's still around.
Yeah.
Todd Friend is connecting me through the other day on Facebook
Yeah,
or something. Wow.
Crazy.
I definitely sold some Arise and Schizophrenia.
I'm sure you did.
But true story. I was sitting there, one early morning, and the receptionist was right close to me, and she goes, "Sure, 1 second, Monty King is on the line." King Diamond?
Damn.
What?
Oh, Monte Carlo shot that. Damn.
Yeah, I was
King
like,
Diamond.
this is insane. First of all, again, to be a nerd like I am, Monte Connor was like meeting the Wizard of Oz.
Jesus.
This was a name
Don't
on.
put him up that high. Come on.
He's a legend, though.
I grew up seeing his name on all these records, Roadrunner records. Monte Connor. The name is crazy too. Monte Connor. And I was like, oh my God, he's here. Like, this is his Monte, and then Howie Abrams at that point was there because he was doing Super Soul.
Super Soul with Shelter.
Yeah. So he was there. He might have been new there.
Damn,
Jim
this is
Salaby.
It's like Disney for you, dude.
I was in heaven.
Was Scott there too, the big guy?
Scott Givens?
Scott Gibbons.
And Scott Gibbons, I punished him. One day I go, he probably didn't want to talk to me because I'm an intern, and I said, hey, I'm a big fan of your work. And he looked at me like, what the fuck you talking? And I go, you still manage Dark Angel? And he looked at me like, how do you know? I was into the managers. That's how nerdy
you're
I
a deep diver, bro.
Yeah, he managed Dark Angel, who I love Dark Angel, especially Gene Hoglan. And
records were coming out in 94. It wasn't like Dog Eat Dog and Madball like 94.
You know what? When I was there, what came out, I remember mailing the promos of this. Machine Head Burn My Eyes.
That was big, yeah.
Madball.
Yes, man.
Uh-huh.
Our Hoya came in for a meeting once, and he looked at me. He's like, "Don't I know you?" You know what I mean?
Damn.
And I'm like,
Would
I
they
can't
set it
believe
off in '94. Yeah, maybe set it off. Wouldn't it be? I don't know.
they were there. They were
You should
definitely
know
there.
that, man. You should know every
No,
date.
it set off 94.
Okay, yeah, set it off. Yeah.
But I remember thinking to myself, you know, I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe you're here.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From where, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
it's.
Did you
those
talk to
kinds of-
Todd Friend, or was he just in his own world in there?
He was kind of quiet.
Yeah.
You know, I did say, you know, he'd give me, I'm like, oh, I go in there to get cassettes to mail out, and he was cool, but
Yeah.
he wasn't like super talkative.
He's a chill cat.
He's
yeah.
chill, yeah. He was nice. He wasn't, you know.
You remember Concrete Marketing?
Of course,
I worked there
Bob
with Lou and
Chaparty.
Pete.
Bob Chaparty.
Yeah, we did Pearl Jam, Nirvana, all those records, Temple of the Dog. We
Yep.
shipped all those cassettes out when it came out.
Yeah, they
We're
used to
like,
do-
what is this grunge shit? We were like smashing them on the
Temple
floor
of
and
Dog
stuff.
was banging.
We didn't know what it was then. We were too
Yeah.
punk, bro.
Yeah.
It was just we worked in between tours, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I remember this guy Wayne DeGarma, who used to work at Combat. I talk about punishing. He lived in my neighborhood. He's a metalhead guy. I'm like, hey, I forgot how I started talking to him. He's probably like, oh, fucking talking to me for like, leave me alone. And I found out he worked at Combat. He might as well have told me he has $1 million. That's it, that he's giving away money. Because I was just like, every time I see him, so do you have any promos? And he's like, yeah. And he give me promos. And I remember he's the one that gave me the Alice in Chains. He goes, this is bullshit. Check this out. And I'm like, listen to it. I'm like, this is incredible.
You loved it back then.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. I'm open-minded.
I know. Did you collect,
You know,
did you collect those 8x10 promo pictures?
I did.
I bet you still have them.
I still have a lot of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude.
That was or is candy.
Mm-hmm.
The little half ones too. That had the black and
Yes.
Jack Small and the token that you want to have.
The ones that had the names on the bottom.
Yeah,
dude, have
of course.
those.
Left
Yeah.
to
Civ
right.
one,
Mm-hmm.
Huge.
the Civ one with the Empire State Building in the back, all them
Yep.
jumping.
Yep.
I have a bunch
was
of
vertical.
those, dude. Sick of it all ones with
Yeah.
EK.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, so you collect everything.
Anything that came with a record, because you also buy the records used, like we were saying, and they'd be in there sometimes. Like the bio,
Right.
you know, the press
yeah, dude.
materials were in the record. I was like, oh.
You still have all of it?
Orgasmic.
You still have everything saved, all that stuff?
No. So I sold my vinyl to Generation
Damn.
in the
Hope
90s.
you got a good deal back then. That's great.
I probably lost money. Oh, I'm
Right.
sure I did. My friends told me crazy, bro.
Dude,
I
Generation.
did it in lots. So I sold a lot of to Generation and to a few other places, but I lost money. I didn't want to have my records mistake. I kept my CDs and people go, double fail. So, hey,
You still have your CDs?
I still have my CDs.
Wow. How
they're
many
in
records did
storage.
you sell, you think?
That's so
Hundreds?
Probably like 1,000 records.
Damn.
Yeah. And then, but a lot of them were promos, but they were records, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I have, 5,000 CDs probably.
so,
But
what is your
but, yeah.
goal? What is your goal for when you graduate at that point? What do you want to do? Something in music?
I wanted to work something in music. I ended up, working at everything from production manager companies
Yeah.
to marketing companies, like digital marketing. When that first became a thing, digital marketing. I worked out here at one called Total Assault, and we handled a lot of like the Warped Tour stuff, like the Used and
Yeah.
Story of the Year. Remember that era? Like
For sure,
major
man,
label
yeah.
bands, like Jimmy Eat World.
Oh, yeah.
I worked a lot of that stuff. And then I worked for Universal Music Group after that. And then I always on marketing side of things.
How did
Yeah.
you come out here? Like, what made you come out?
In 2006, my wife, she had a chance to move here. Her company was opening an office here.
Yep. 2006.
Yeah, she was working in book publishing. She's almost 8 years younger than me, so she was in a
Okay.
different point in her career. But she was working in a publishing company, and her boss, Judith Regan, did all of the celebrity books. She did Marilyn Manson, Pamela Anderson, Dave Navarro, all
Damn.
like those kind of books at that time that were like, they'd be in Howard Stern and do these
Yeah.
interviews and
Sure.
yeah, and so they wanted to move out here to open an office here so they can deal more with celebrities, in all honesty. So my wife called me one day. I was on tour. I was playing in a band.
Is it
And-
Lakota?
Lakota, which
Yeah.
was like a melodic band. Kind of like
Sugar Far Side. yeah.
Sugar Far Side.
Yep.
Exactly. Yeah, that kind of style. And I was over it. I didn't want to. It was going nowhere, in all honesty. And she
Was this
called
with
me.
your friend Carlos from Interpol?
No, that's way earlier. I can get into that
Yeah,
real
we'll
quick.
get to that.
But so yeah, I was in Lakota, and she called me, or I called her, and we were in Washington State, playing in front of like 15 people. It's horrible, and and she's like, so they're offering to move me to LA to help open the office in LA. They'll move both our cars. They'll put us up in housing, Oakwood. You know what Oakwood is?
Yeah,
I didn't know what Oakwood was at the time. I was like,
legendary.
they're putting us up, and they're going to give us SUV for like 3 months. I'm like, say yes.
Let's go.
She's like, we have to move in 2 weeks. I'm like, say yes.
Wow.
So we moved out here. Long story short, Judith Regan made the fatal mistake of doing a deal with O.J. Simpson for a book called If I Did It.
What?
And the press ran with it.
Oh shit!
And they asked for her head, HarperCollins, the parent company. So they said, "All right, we're closing shop, and we're going to move back to New York, and we'll move you back because we know it was a huge inconvenience."
Oh,
my wife called me at that point. I was working at a company that manages music producers.
Okay.
And she said, "What do you think?" I'm like, "I'm not moving back.
Right.
We're gonna stay here and try." It was only a year later, so I'm like, "We're gonna try out here. It's tough.
Wow.
I wasn't making a lot of money at all, and I was like, we'll figure it out."
Was it a big culture shock for you moving here, or just
No,
okay?
no, because I had been out here from playing, on the
Bands,
tours I did, and I always loved, again, it's just the music, the movies, the folklore.
The history.
Of LA and
Sunset Strip.
skateboarding,
culture.
I subscribed to Thrasher, and I was, and I would read it, not just the pictures,
I'm sure you did.
I just
were you skating in Queens though?
I skated, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
My brother was way better than I was.
Okay.
Way better, but yeah, I skated.
It's like street skating.
Street skating, yeah. That was the only thing really.
Yeah,
the only
not
game
many
in town.
ramps in Queens, really. Yeah.
And so I'd go to Shut Skates. People
Hell yeah,
know Shut Skates in New York. Yeah, I'd go there.
Sean Sheffy.
Yes.
Legend.
Yes.
Harold Hunter.
Yes.
Recipes, all that.
Yeah. If you happen to be listening to this, remember the Twins? They were from. That's how I first met Shaka. He won't remember that, but the Twins.
Twin Skins?
No, they were skate kids from Woodside.
Oh,
he wouldn't.
dude.
Yeah, he wouldn't know who they are. Anyway, but yeah. So coming out here, I always was like, you know what? I love the other thing too. I love hair metal.
Okay.
Like. Obsessed with hair metal.
Really? Crew,
Yes.
all that stuff. White Snake.
Deeper than that even.
Okay.
If you want to talk about New York hardcore, someone will say Sick of It All and they'll say Agnostic Front. And then
like
someone says
Cinderella, Rat.
Yeah, but the analogy is they'll say, yeah, I like New York hardcore, Sick of It All, Agnostic Front, and then they say Altercation. I'm like, Altercation. So I'm like that with hair metal. I'll say, yeah, Kick Tracy. Kick Tracy.
You know what that is?
No, I didn't even heard.
Kick Tracy.
I think it'd be like Danger. I don't.
That's
even,
Danger,
I don't know
too.
anything really about hair metal.
Yeah.
So,
Whoa.
Yes.
Did
So
you ever have crazy hair like that?
I had long hair.
Okay.
But I wasn't like that.
what
No,
was
I
it
had
that drew you to it?
I love hooks. I love pop music. I love, that's just pop music,
Right.
really, a lot of it.
Yeah.
I just love it. I don't know, man. And I bought into the pomp and circumstance of it, the look, I love the theatrical, my friends are like, that shit is gay, bro. What do you like those guys? And I'm like, gay? Those guys get more girls than you get.
Facts.
Are you kidding me?
It's so true. Even the spandex, yeah, man.
Yeah. I keep on saying that word. I'm just being real. That's how people talk, right?
Yeah.
Back then.
Yeah.
Especially where I grew up. That's how we, we talk like that. I'm not proud of that, but that's how it was. And and yeah. So I love. Always been into the. I bought into it. The LA kind of like.
So LA was the
thing.
mecca for you for that. Yeah.
For that stuff, and again skateboarding, and then suicidal tendencies. Talk about watching videos or photos and going, man, they're in a gang.
Yeah.
And they're. What? Like holy shit!
Making your own shirts with suicidal on their hats flipped up.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did all
So
that.
Yeah, man. A friend of mine is doing a suicidal tendencies documentary.
Oh, my
wow.
God.
Yeah, and he interviewed me for it.
What? That's sick.
He asked me, he's like, "Would you be down to talk?" I'm like, "Would I be
Dude.
down?" And so, first of all, as a New Yorker, anything that was like LA gang shit, for me, as
Intrigued by all of it, right?
Oh, very intriguing. They
American Me.
They wear blue and the other ones wear red.
Mm-hmm.
What? And they're not Puerto Rican or Colombian or Dominican. They're Mexican.
Right.
We didn't have Mexicans where I grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point,
there was no
That's just
Mexicanos.
and it's funny because I
Now
never
it
thought
is.
about it. Like, there's
No.
not many Puerto Ricans I meet out here.
No, not many
Like
Colombians,
none.
to be honest with you.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
My boy Luis is Puerto Rican. That's one.
I mean, there's a few, but it's not. So
That's a good point.
like, holy
Yeah.
shit, Mexican, like the Latinos and the West Coast are running shit for hard music. And I mean, Mike Muir might as well be Mexican,
Sure.
Let's be real here.
Yeah.
But fuck, I was so intrigued with
the visuals
LA.
for that, those albums, everything. Dude.
hard. Excel? What? Mm-hmm. The skateboard looking guys with like Vato looking at Beowulf. that album where they're sitting like all like with the flannels and the lokes, the sunglasses.
Especially living in New York, I was really intrigued by watching like American Me and Blood In, Blood Out, and then, like Boys in the Hood, Menace to Society, all that stuff, like the West Coast culture.
Absolutely,
really intrigued by it. Living
very
in New York.
intriguing, and some people in New York, New Yorkers tend to we think we're the best,
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, man, they're on a different level over there.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. You got to respect. It's different, but it's hard,
But New York is hard too, with the different neighborhoods and the crews and all that stuff.
You got to know, the code of the streets, as Gangstar said.
We
right?
always go back. But if you watch the Warriors, it didn't look so scary. When you watch the Warriors now, back then the way the gangs looked was so like
it was pretty hardcore though. I mean, I was like, dude, this is insane.
I mean, how many times have I seen the Warriors? I'm sure you have too.
Yeah,
dude. So classic. When you look at it now compared to
it's like a Broadway show. It's like like it's over the top, but it's still because it was filmed there.
Yeah,
it's got that grit to it.
I love watching the old New York movies from the 70s and 80s, bro.
Never gets old.
It's just so sick. Was Social Plague the first punk band you in, the hardcore band?
Yeah, that was just me. So that's Carlos Stengler, who ended up years later in Interpol.
Oh, one of my wife's favorite bands of all time.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. I love Interpol.
What were you doing in the band?
So I sang in that band. We were little kids.
Yeah.
Carlos Stengler was like me, half Colombian. He grew up 2 blocks from me. He was a fellow Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, all that stuff. And he played guitar, and he was very studious about the instrument, so he got good fast. That's key. And then we started playing together. We called ourselves Social Plague. And it was like trying to be like DRI, trying to be like, just like dealing with it style, because that's all we could do really at that time. We weren't any good. We never played shows or anything like that. So that was the first thing. Then Carlos, years later, became, a rock star. I tell people, of all the people I grew up with, and very talented, a lot of us have done cool shit. Some still are musicians for a living, which is insane.
Yeah.
But he headlined MSG.
Wow.
That's for a New Yorker. That's
the pinnacle. Right there.
I saw him do Radio City Music Hall.
Wow.
He's not in the band. He quit Interpol for whatever reason. But he actually lived the dream. And coming from his background, immigrant parents, odds against him, he made it happen. He willed it. He put the work in.
Awesome,
different lane. I remember the last thing he wanted to do a band like VOD when VOD first came out.
Yeah, dude.
He loved VOD. He's like, I want to start a band called Undermine. Check this out. It's called Undermine. It's like VOD, Little Bad Brains, it never happened. But then from that to Interpol. So
wow.
And he was in there for how many years? Like
he was on the first 3 records. Which, if you talk to Interpol fans, those are the ones.
Okay. Big records too, yeah.
Big records.
So Social Plague really didn't do much.
No. We were very young.
And the Coda was after, was it Black Army Jacket?
Black Army Jacket was first. That was 90s. You did a lot with
that band.
We did a lot. We put a lot of records out. We toured. It was in the power violence kind of scene.
Yeah.
So that's a different lane.
Napalm Death kind of inspired too?
Napalm Death was the blueprint. Siege from Boston or Massachusetts. Fast. DRI too.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. But that was cool. A little bit older than I was, I am.
Put a couple records out too, like 2 records, right?
We put out 1 album and then like a bunch of like splits.
Oh, yeah,
like in that scene, splits are big. A lot of compilations.
Yeah, 7-inch.
We touring. We toured out here was better for that kind of music back then. The West Coast.
You guys had the following and stuff.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Absolutely, yeah. And
that was a couple years, right?
That was from like 96 to like 98 or something like that, 99.
Correct.
So that was a great run, and I learned a lot about I never toured before, and
you've always been behind the scenes with music. Yeah, it's like always been,
This was even after Roadrunner, so now I'm actually on the road, and I got to see on that level. It's touring is not one. It's not. You can't just say it's one thing.
You can't, dude.
Because I saw Interpol at their height, and I was on the bus with them. I saw how they lived, and they had their own rooms, in hotels. We didn't have a room for the band. You know, it was the band was the room. Someone
So
who's sleeping
different.
in the van tonight, you know, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
But it was the best I got out of that experience was the friendships I made throughout the country and the
Sure.
people that I'm still friends with, and
Yeah.
the friends I made out here. You know,
Mhm.
and I tell my kids who are not interested in at least now yet, they're 10 and 13. You know, I got to see the country. And unless you see America that way, you really don't know, especially they're LA kids. They were born here. So, and I was born in New York. So it's like, of course, the two evils of the coastal elites, as they call us. I had that attitude about America, you know, until you go to the Rust Belt or go down south, you don't know,
It's true, man.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
So when I hear certain, you know, just to be clear, I vote liberal. I'm not, but people want to be heard. And just because it's working here doesn't mean it's working other places, and
Yeah,
it's not
man.
their experience.
We
And
kind of live in a bubble, living in Cali,
you
and New
are.
York, and
You are.
Chicago. Yeah, yeah.
so it's perspective of touring and seeing these places that you normally, people from New York don't go, I'm going to go to Ohio for a vacation. You just don't do that unless you have family.
Sorry, Derek. Yeah.
It's okay.
Unless you have
Yeah.
family, you know what
Sure.
I mean? Where people will go to New York to go see Times Square. I don't know why they would do
I'm
that.
gonna go to
I don't know
Wisconsin.
why either.
I'm gonna go to
I still ponder this in my
Yeah, I'm
mind.
gonna go to Wisconsin in the winter just to hang out.
Yeah. I went to Wisconsin. So there you go. So I went to the Milwaukee Metal Fest
Oh, yeah.
in 1992 as a fan.
Oh, my God.
I drove there with my friend Rick and my other friend Omar from Queens all the way to Milwaukee Metal Fest. We didn't have a room. We didn't have anything. We just showed up. We had a pen
Wow.
pal. My friend was rapping to this girl, pen pal, from Waukesha, Wisconsin. We pull up in front of her house. We're like, we're here. You always said, come visit. I'm here. She's like, what the fuck? And you brought friends with you? You can't come in. My dad won't let you in. So we slept in
Whoa.
front of her house while he snuck into her room and hooked up with her. Next day, we drove to the Milwaukee Metal Fest.
Bro.
And this was the year, it was right after Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah.
So
Where's
the
the hotel?
the apartments
Right
are right
across the
there.
street.
And
Yeah,
there were
man.
legions of metalheads
Yeah.
going there like a bunch of idiots to go see the Dahmer house.
Yeah.
You know, I remember it was insane. And we
Wow.
went there. This
Was
is
that
how
the rave?
I was at the Eagles Ballroom. Right?
Eagles
This
Ballroom,
Eagles
yeah.
Ballroom.
Did DSI
Jack
play?
Koshik's
Did DSI play?
yes.
Did Sick of It All play?
Yes.
I was there.
You were there? Yeah, 92, right? Glenn Benton from DSI had like a chest plate, like
Yeah.
a metal.
And he just said the cross put in his
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
That was because we were on the New Titans on the tour.
It was the I
came
think
through.
the only time I ever saw Deicide, in that era at least, and it was a big deal that they were playing and seeing them. And
Dude.
yeah, they played. Sick of It All played.
I was there. That's fucking crazy. And
Yeah.
we have a video. It never came out. That Rich Cipriano documented that whole entire tour.
Mm.
And we all know the shot. We might have talked about it on the podcast
Mhm.
before, but I'm gonna say it now. We're filming the singer from TSI is just standing there talking to somebody, and he just had the cross on his face. And Lou walks up in front of him into the shot, and he has a penny that he pushed on his forehead, and he's just sitting there right. He's behind him, and
Oh,
Lou's
that's
"Dad,
awesome."
There has a penny on his forehead. He's behind him.
But Glenn
Just
didn't
making
see
fun,
it. But
yeah.
Glenn didn't notice it.
Yeah, we went downstairs in the basement, and there's a pool in there.
Scary,
It's like
haunted.
haunted. Supposedly.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, yeah, it's a
Yeah,
legendary
it's a
club,
legendary,
dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Yeah, it's
Is that
still, we're gonna play there.
Well,
We're gonna play the next year. Also, shout out to Jamie Jost who brought that festival
Yeah.
back.
I mean, never playing the festival. We're playing at that
that
Yeah.
venue.
specific,
Yeah.
that venue.
Well,
yeah.
I played that venue years later with Black Army Jacket. So that was, awesome.
Mm.
Yeah.
You know, because I remembered like, oh, I can't believe, I'm playing here now.
You and Bruno
Wow.
Mars. Yeah,
Bruno Mars. Why do you say
he
Bruno
played
Mars?
there too.
Oh, okay. Well,
Do you? We played there one time, and Bob Dylan was playing in the big room.
Yeah.
You know about the story?
No.
Oh, and he was sound checking, and something happened where our shows collided, and we were told to stop while he sound checked upstairs wherever he was.
I'm sure.
But we were having a show, man. Like, Todd
Fucking
Frank
Bob
knows all the
Dylan,
details.
bro.
I know, we're like, fuck Bob Dylan, but
Wow.
But
fuck
I don't know,
Bob
it was
Dylan,
we were
man.
punk, man. It was a moment, but it was something conflicting with the sounds.
it's amazing.
So you're on tour. Then after that, you have Closed Casket.
Well, the Closed Casket was, that was the Black Army Jacket
Last record.
discography. Yeah, the discography.
That came out in 2004.
Yeah, that
right
was
before you moved here. 2 years ago.
exactly. So that was kind of like the way to
It's a cool name for the last record.
yeah,
actually,
close the chapter on these. Here are the recordings, but But that was I did that band, and then Lakota was like more melodic. Period. It wasn't like anywhere like hardcore or anything like that.
And then you played your last show with the Black Army Jack 2010, I guess.
We did a reunion show
Best
for
Friends Festival.
Rich Hall. Rich Hall booked
Rest
us.
in peace, man.
Rest in peace, Rich Hall. We played a show for him in New York, and then we did a show at in Richmond for Tony Foresta. Do you know him from Municipal Waste?
Yeah.
He was part of Best Friends Day. It was like this big festival there.
That's
and
cool.
He invited us. That was great. So we reunited for those 2 shows, and that's been it for that, man.
For music, like playing music, yeah.
No. So tomorrow I'm going to record vocals with Taylor. You know Taylor Young from
yeah, for sure, yeah.
Taylor Young. He's
You also had Deny the Cross.
Yeah, Deny the Cross. That was a few years ago. But I did a project called Hope Collapse.
Okay.
Like Napalm Death style, just
Sick.
you know. And I sing in that one. And we did an EP like 04 or something like 05 maybe. We're doing a new EP. They did it already, and I'm doing the vocals. I'm starting the vocals tomorrow.
Nice.
See how far I can go, because it's like screaming, growling.
When's the last time you recorded?
Blow my voice out.
When's the last time you recorded the screaming vocals like that?
For Deny the Cross. So that's got to be, I don't know what year that was, but
That's 2016.
there you go. That was the last time I really did that. So I'm going. Taylor, if you don't know, Taylor plays in God's Hate, and
Yep.
Brothers
Colin.
Yeah, and he records a lot of cool records, metal and hardcore.
He does.
So
I think he did maybe some Drain stuff.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah,
I'm sure
yeah.
he did. So Twitching Tongues is another band he does.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go do vocals with him, and he's very chill. He's very the right temperament for what I need to, because you get anxious. You're gonna blow your voice out. How fast am I gonna blow my voice out? We'll see.
You gonna warm up or stuff before you record, or no?
I never did.
Okay.
No, not for that.
Yeah.
But we'll see, and I'm psyched. So that's Hope Collapse. So that'll come out next year.
Yeah.
And that's just a fun project. Not going to play shows or anything.
But I mean, but No Echo, that launched 2014.
Yep, 2014. So,
what inspired that? And
it was I started with someone else, this guy Andrew, who we just wanted to do a website, talk about music, and just not have to worry about traffic or ad sales or record labels. We didn't deal with publicists. We just did whatever we wanted.
Yeah.
He eventually wanted to do his own thing, so then I took it over. And that's when I shifted it towards hardcore, because there wasn't enough hardcore just coverage.
Yeah.
Metal sites always treat hardcore as like a stepchild, They relegate it to the sidelines, I felt, at least.
Okay.
Maybe it's different now because hardcore is popular.
Yeah.
But especially a decade ago, it would be like they'd cover Sick of It All tour, Gnostic Front tour.
The main staples. Yeah.
So I wanted to give the new bands a little love. So it became it's like a job. I treat it like it's Monday through Friday. There's always some new stuff going up on the site. At least one
You're
article.
putting everything up yourself, all that stuff.
I put it all up myself, and I run the back end of it, and then I have people contribute. They write articles here and there, and it's I love it. And it keeps me really in tune with hardcore.
Of course.
So...
I love how you're featuring all new bands. You actually featured Max's band up there. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I make playlists so people could find things. I tell people, my age and older, my friends who, they're, any kind of music you can say this about. You get to a certain age, you don't listen to new stuff. People like what they like.
Yeah.
Most people, not
Except
everyone.
for us, I see you at shows. We're
Yeah,
always
I'm not speaking for myself or you. But that's how people are. Like my friends back home who, they went the traditional path. They go to Iron Maiden every few years. Mm-hmm. They go to Metallica every few years. You know what I mean? They don't.
They're not full time like rockers.
No, they don't. So they'll ask me like, "How do you listen? How do you like? Do you really? Or they'll say, why would I listen to that if I could listen to this? They're just copying that. And I understand that mindset. I get it.
Yeah.
I know what they mean, right? For me, the website is just a way to just put a spotlight. It's not what I'm saying you should listen to. It's just, here it is.
Yeah.
And make what you want of it,
It's keeping you connected to the scene you grew up in that you love.
And I love it. And for me, what I love about hardcore the most isn't even the music; it's the culture part
Absolutely,
of it. That's what's more important than the music to me.
Yeah.
And I'm writing for No Echo on my computer, and I'm listening to something that's completely. My most listened to artist last year on Spotify. They do the thing. George Benson.
Wow, nice. I love
Most
that.
of the people that read NYer don't know who George Benson is.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Right?
Wow.
I say that because it's as much as I love hardcore and I'm involved with it, it's not just about hardcore.
It's not, dude.
But this is the lane. NYer is it's hardcore. We're going to keep it that way, and that's what it's about.
That's what that's for. Yeah.
So it's a great extension of that kind of love for that kind of music or the culture, really.
Yeah.
So it's cool, and I get to cover stuff that I really love. Like, I go deep dives on things that I shouldn't be going deep dives on.
Yeah.
Like who cares about this? I do, and
So
it's my
do you-
website, so I'm going to do whatever I want.
So how does that? Do you have sponsors and that's how it functions financially, or?
I run ads on it.
Yeah, run ads. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's just it sucks because I hate that
Me too.
having ads, but
Yeah.
it's there, and I make money from that. It's not a lot, but it helps pay for the hosting. The more traffic you get, the more traffic it's like the problem, right? The more people go on the site, the more you have to pay for infrastructure to have the bots not attack it and all that kind of stuff, the boring back end stuff. So yeah, I make money from it. Not a lot, not as much as I put into it.
For sure. I'm sure not.
Definitely
Yeah.
not.
And what's changed with social media with like YouTube and all these different ways to look at different music and find things as opposed to just a .com or a .net or a website, like traffic, like how has that changed? And do you have to stay up to date with, I don't know, not to stay relevant, but do a lot of people still go to websites?
No, I don't think they do. Not music. There's very few music websites
You know what I mean?
left.
It's like just so many things and outlets.
No, so they don't. I see the traffic. I see where traffic's coming from. It's mostly the U.S., but it's a lot of Europe. Interesting. Again, I know this because of No Echo. And I'm sure you play. How involved are you guys playing Southeast Asia? Do you hit it like?
Yeah, I mean, we hit as much as possible, but there's definitely a history. I mean, Indonesia is for sure the biggest market for us there.
Indonesia is huge No Echo traffic.
It's massive.
There's
Right?
And they love metal and bands and music, but I know they love Sepultura because it was one of the first metal bands to ever play there.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of
cool.
stuck in their minds, like this was the first.
Yeah.
Like it's insane.
That's a
I
big
get
market.
emails from bands from Indonesia weekly, new bands.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And some of them are really good.
Yeah.
Some of them they're a little too early to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just copying what,
For sure.
everyone does that. But there are some bands
There's
from there
some
that are
amazing
killing
bands,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
killing
Big
it.
scene out there too right now, right?
Big.
So Southeast Asia, I love that. I still get excited by that. Raw Brigade from Colombia.
Love them.
As a Colombian person, as a first generation American for the Colombian father, I love that. The fact that they're Colombian and I'm not straight edge, but they're straight edge.
I know.
In that culture, that's going against the grain.
I just watched a mini doc on them.
I loved it.
And then I bought the sweatshirt immediately with the X. I just ordered it the other day. The new record coming out too.
Yeah, on
It's
Flat Spot.
Yeah,
Flat Spot.
yeah.
Ricky and Che,
What a
label,
them talking about growing up in Colombia
Yeah.
and all the shit around them and their childhoods. I was saying to the dog, I was so like stoked on them, dude.
Yeah. I remember I would have cousins coming from South America in the 80s, and they had bootleg shit, They,
Sure.
you know what I mean? They had the bootleg records, which I was intrigued by because they had different covers and shit. And they were like,
Right.
I want the one you have. I'm like,
Yeah.
I want the one you have.
Yeah.
Some
of the bootleg shit's way better than the original stuff.
Sick.
Like outside your shows in
Sick
Mexico or whatever.
layouts.
Like,
Sick
A lot of
layouts.
times it is.
But they were so late to get things before the internet, So they were like, oh, this is so heavy. And they'd be like, bark at the moon, and like, yeah, it is heavy, but have you heard Voivod?
yeah.
¿Qué?
Yeah.
¿Qué es esto? And I make mixtapes for them, blow their mind.
Yeah, that's true.
You're not up on combat?
Dude,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like you should teach like a music history class or something, man. You'd be so good, dude.
maybe one day.
There's so much knowledge on everything, dude. Like real deep dive.
Can I tell you, I went back. I'm in school right now. I never finished college.
Wow.
I never even finished a semester of college. I just started college this fall.
No
Wow.
way.
And I'm loving it.
That's awesome.
And I'm
What?
and I'm going to school right now.
What are you studying?
I'm
Yeah.
going to I'm going to try to be a therapist.
Nice.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
amazing, man. Good for you.
Yeah. So it's a
Back at
late
school at 50,
career
so
change.
what? That's
Yeah.
amazing.
You know what? That was the barrier, the mental barrier I
Mhm.
created for myself that doesn't exist. It's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
My wife, right before the school started, she's like, just go do it. And I did.
Fuck it, dude. That's
And I made it
great.
just in time to start on time. And I'm killing it. I love it.
Wow,
I appreciate it more.
Mhm.
I wasn't ready for it. At
Right.
the time, it was like, oh, I got an internship. I'm just going to work in the music business if I get a job, and I did.
I'm
And I-
surprised. It's therapy and not music. Yeah. It's
no,
interesting.
but I love it. I love it, and
Do you gonna be a regular therapist, like a psychologist?
that's the hope, you know.
Wow, that's
but I'm
amazing,
early
man.
to it. Like I said, I'm doing my I'm in community college. I'm at LA Valley College,
Nice.
and then I'm going to transfer. The plan, at least, is next year to transfer over to Northridge, which is a state school.
Yep.
You know, and CSUN, and we'll see, man. But
That's so cool.
again, I say this here because you have a huge audience. I know there's people out there thinking about it.
Mm.
You know, who, you know, for me at least, speaking for myself, not for everyone.
Thinking about going to therapy, you mean?
No.
School.
School,
Okay, we'll
like
get
they
to
didn't
therapy.
finish school or even go to college
Why didn't you back then? Music
because
just took
I
over?
just wanted to
Yeah.
work. I didn't, you know what I mean? I moved out. Like I said, I wanted to get out of there so fast.
Yeah, I
where I
gotcha.
grew up.
Yeah.
You know,
Mm.
and I wanted to have my independence, and it just school felt like it was getting in the way of that. I should have not done that. It's okay. It's fine because I'd done some other shit that was
Sure,
cool.
man.
You
Yeah.
know. So, but yeah, it was the right time, and I'm actually loving it, which is crazy. You know.
Were you nervous going back to school?
No,
Okay.
no, it felt right. You know,
Yeah.
it felt right, and getting the feedback from the professors is huge. So I get emails from people, either bands that I've covered or people that just read the site. They say, thanks so much for doing the site. We appreciate you.
Sure.
We love what you do. Keep on doing it. Whatever. I love that. That is,
man.
it might be ego on some level, but I hope it's not. I hope it's just that I feel like, you know what? I'm putting some good energy out there. I'm getting it back.
You appreciate it.
And I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
But getting feedback from a professor about a paper is like, oh,
yeah, how you grade?
holy
You
shit.
had a good grade in the paper?
killing it.
Wow.
That's
I'm killing it, man.
amazing,
I
man.
am.
So for
I-
listeners,
I-
you're never too young to go back to school and learn and push yourself.
No, and I started going to therapy at age 49.
Okay.
You know what I
that's just
mean?
New.
And
Okay.
I used to look at it as a week. Why am I going to...
That's
What?
That's how you grew up. Whatever you grew
That's,
up in.
yeah. Macho Latino bullshit.
Mm.
Turns out it helps me, you know?
So you started going at 49. Okay.
Yeah. And it wasn't forced. It wasn't like my wife's like, you got to go to therapy. We're going to divorce. It wasn't anything like that. It was just, I could use it.
It's been
And
helpful.
For me, it is. Yeah.
Enough
And-
to want to be one.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you know, like, you know, I had a friend tell me, you know, say, you know, you're, as a therapist, as someone who's lived your life, you're going to bring perspective that will be appreciated.
For sure. Man.
Maybe you could work with people that are in bands or worked in the
That's what I was
industry.
gonna say.
You know,
I just
like
thought you could be a musician.
you relate to
therapist.
them. You know.
Yeah, I know a person that was working with bands. Actually, I mentioned Sarah Cox earlier.
Mm-hmm.
She's the homie. I played in a band with her when I moved to New York. And her father did that. He was for Aerosmith and Nirvana.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
And so I'd have like interesting Thanksgiving or dinner talks with him where he couldn't talk about, you know,
Damn.
everything. But I just thought he was like incredible, you know,
That
that he was
is.
working with bands. And for the label, you know, they would bring him in and he like
Damn.
pretty much got Aerosmith back into.
I mean, I
doing
was
that
just
stuff.
thinking about like Crown of Thorns and like Rest in Pieces. I mean, Robert Cheveria, are you out there? You need a therapist? You know,
Wow.
you know,
He's
I don't know.
Metallica's therapist. Remember that
Oh
documentary?
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
It's kind of cool. You hear about bands going to therapy. I know more that
I mean, they need it. I mean, a lot of them are just going through a lot of stuff. I mean, he was supposed to be Nirvana's, at least for Kurt, but it was
Wow.
too late.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, Fletcher talked about Pennywise goes to therapy now together as a band, all that stuff.
I
Yeah.
think Hall & Oates need this.
Oh my
no,
God.
time.
we need Hall & Oates not to go away. I
know, man. That's sad.
Yeah, I wonder if they would
It's-
sit down. I wonder if bands have tried that. I'm sure they tried it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
It'd be great. That'd be awesome, man.
That's the plan.
Mhm.
That's the plan. And I've thought about that. You know, maybe that's the corner that I should get into. That's
Mhm.
you know, because that's what I nerd out about.
It's
Anyway,
Yeah.
doable. It's
and
doable.
they can't say you don't understand. I understand. You know.
so
I
how long
understand.
is this process going to be going to school?
It's gonna
for
be a
that?
few years.
Okay.
There's gonna be a lot of work ahead.
Mm.
But yeah, that's fine.
That's amazing, man. 50 years old and just going to school. And
So yeah.
so that and the website and your family and all that.
Yeah,
you just do it all.
My wife is very supportive, and you know, I'm lucky. She does well in her career, so I can do this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't have to. If that wasn't the case, I wouldn't be able to do it.
For sure.
You know, 'cause
There's
it
always
takes a lot of time.
Yeah, there's always a a woman, a partner, a wife that's always holding
Good
shit
woman.
down. A good woman is holding it down.
She's
We
a
talk
good.
about it all
She's
the
a good
time.
woman.
Yeah, they
she's
hold it
she's a
down.
civilian. We call them civilians. You ever say that,
Yeah.
civilians?
Sure.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a
Behind
civilian.
every rock star or whatever you're doing and running around being a big
Yeah.
kid and loving the shit you grew up on is always.
If you're lucky, you have that.
You're
woman
lucky,
in your
man.
life,
You're lucky.
For sure.
I'm very lucky. You're very lucky to have a wife that holds me down, lets me around, be a big kid. You know what I'm saying?
And
It's
she,
awesome.
yeah,
dude.
and she still thinks it's cool that I get so excited about a musical thing, you know,
Right,
or
right.
nerd out about. She's like, how many books do you have on Kiss? I'm like, all of them.
Not enough.
But there's going to be more coming out. And I'll buy those too. And she's like, man.
Did you ever meet
she's
Kiss
funny.
before? You ever meet them?
I interviewed Paul Stanley,
Whoa.
and we
He's an
talked about
interesting
Queens.
kid. Yeah.
We talked
Which
about
guy in there
Queens for a
never
while.
tried drugs and alcohol? It's like
Gene.
okay.
He was saying, and Paul, right?
I think they
they're
maybe
s-
tasted wine or
Yeah,
something,
wow.
you know,
they're
or
pretty much
beer.
straight edge.
Yeah, they're straight. Yeah, they're
Crazy,
straight.
bro.
But yeah,
Their
I mean,
vice was women, you
Yeah.
know,
And one of the
money,
guys just
and money.
passed, right? Somebody's passed.
yeah,
Ace
Ace
Frehley.
Frehley.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But
Wow.
he
Rest
was
in
definitely not
peace.
straight edge.
Yeah, he
Okay.
was far from straight edge. But Eric, the drummer,
If we're gonna equate it to like heavy music, Ace Frehley was like in I Hate God,
Okay.
and the other guys were in Youth of Today.
Okay.
yeah, that's a good.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
Did you ever paint your face like them as a kid?
Yeah,
What about
of
you?
course I did.
no,
Okay.
I wish I did, but I mean, it was kind of cool, like to learn that their drummer now,
Eric Singer?
from
Yeah.
Cleveland.
Yeah,
So it's just like,
Ah.
yeah.
you always talk about that when I
He-
see them play. I'm like, hey, Cleveland.
Hell
He's
yeah.
like, hey, what's up? He's a sick drummer.
He is. He was in Badlands with Jake
Mhm.
E. Lee. He was also in. He played on the Cult. I think he played on Sonic Temple. He's a great drummer.
He's
Did you
a great
Did you
drummer.
ever take your Kiss cruise?
I don't go on cruises.
Okay. I heard.
'Cause I went on the Kiss cruise.
You said it's fantastic,
You went on it?
I
bro.
went on
Tell
it.
him real
See,
quick.
Dude, it was a trip.
The art, all the
man.
shit's on point. Tell him.
Dude, the whole ship is like transformed to be surrounding Kiss. So, you go to the elevator, all you're hearing the entire trip is Kiss.
Oh,
Like in the morning to the evening, like the background music. So like the little elevator buttons, like little details of just Kiss everywhere.
see, I love that.
And you know how it all works? Like it's like they come on
I know all about it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
So
no.
it's just like fanatical Kiss fans from
I was gonna
around
say-
the world.
I was gonna say I'm not a cruise person.
Neither am
My
I.
wife, yeah, my wife isn't either. That's why that's always our. We're not cruise people, but man, it does sound really, really enticing.
I mean, it was really. I mean, I was going as with.
You got it for free.
I went for free, and I
Yeah.
went with a friend who I co-host like a travel TV show called Highway to Health, and we're working on. And Tanya O'Callahan is the co-host, and she's now playing with Bruce Dickinson. She's the bass player.
Oh, yeah, I've seen her.
And so she was
Yeah.
playing at the time with Steven Adler,
Okay.
his band, and so
Adler's
they were doing
Appetite?
they were doing like Guns N' Roses
Yeah.
songs,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so they were invited on the cruise.
Ah.
And so when I went with her to film everything with her, and that's how I got like into that whole Kiss world. But it was just crazy, like Paul's paintings,
yeah.
like
Yeah.
in a whole room, and I just saw stickers on like every single one. I was like, damn, they bought like all, and he's an incredible artist,
He
like
is.
painter. Like
He is.
I was like, he really did.
I know,
this.
because as you're saying that because you've seen the other artists, musicians,
Yes.
and you're like,
Yeah. No, his
He's-
shit was on
he's talented,
point,
yeah.
and I didn't realize he had this obsession with like Motown,
Yeah.
and like all that. Like he's way into it. Like,
Yeah.
it's like
He's
big inspiration for him.
hell yeah.
So it made it even cooler for me. I was like, damn. But was one funny story. It's just like the first time they did the cruise, they didn't really know, I guess, how it was going to roll out. So they came on the cruise like for like a day, and then they're like, we're out. Like on a helicopter, and people are like, yo, what the.
That sounds about right because
serious,
They're like,
bro?
"Yo,
They
I
dipped
paid for
out?
this, and they're not even gonna like
had the
hang?"
decency to hang out with us.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
At least
But-
in the same ship.
But then they changed it all around where they're there the entire time,
Okay.
walking
They get
around.
punished,
You know,
bro.
like they don't care. They're just like there
Crazy
off on the
security-
side watching
crazy
the
security?
show. No,
Wow.
no, they're like
dude.
off to the side. That's what made it. I was like, damn, that's kind of cool. Like Paul Stanley's on the side, like watching, like, oh, this is kind of cool, man.
So
Like, I'm
Wow,
watching.
man.
So you know that chain Islands, the
Yeah,
restaurant
yeah.
Islands. My kids when they were younger, that's all they wanted to eat. Islands. If we went out to eat, picky eaters, like
Yeah.
good
You're
chicken
right.
fingers at
All
Islands.
kids are, yeah.
So Paul Stan, she's okay.
Listeners, Derek's laughing at my poor dog Stella, who's old now, losing her hearing. She slid off the seat onto the floor, Carlos did not laugh at that.
No.
By the way, Derek's a compassionate vegan who's laughing at my dog right now. He's losing his mind.
Your dog stage
Thanks
though.
for caring, Carlos.
Oh my
Okay,
God.
islands. Back to islands.
So
I love
islands.
you,
So,
Stella. I'm sorry.
Okay, go.
so we're in islands, and my wife's like, "Don't turn around." And when someone says that, you want to turn around,
Oh,
right?
fuck yeah.
So she goes, "Don't turn around." I'm like, "All right, who's back there?" She's like, "Who's like your first musical hero?" And then that could change the answer,
Yeah,
And it could be Michael Jackson. It could be, and then I go, I don't know, is it Paul Stanley? She goes, yep. I turn around, it's Paul Stanley. Not only is it Paul Stanley, they got the entire middle. They put all the tables together to make it like a long table, and he's hosting like a family thing.
What?
And he's walking around the room, and people don't care, other people. I couldn't stop looking at him. I was like, I can't believe Paul Stanley.
Who
I had interviewed him years before that.
Yeah, man.
I didn't want to bother him.
Right.
Like I said, I still subscribe to not punishing.
Yeah.
man.
I want to talk to him, but I didn't. No.
Right.
And I've seen him. So my wife has seen him. She used to go to she used to do yoga at this place. And, we live in Sherman Oaks.
Yeah.
And he would come out in his like fucking, leotard, his workout. He dressed, like tight.
Yeah.
And she'd send me photos like, look, Paul Stanley. I'm like, you're killing me right now. Paul Stanley's so close to our house,
Do you have a favorite member?
Paul Stanley.
Okay.
For sure.
Damn, bro,
Paul
that's
Stanley.
crazy.
That was the Star Child. Do you remember the movie?
Yeah.
I mean,
Kidding me?
I haven't seen
fuck.
Ace Frehley was my dude as a kid. I was like, I
Yeah,
was fascinated.
Ace is the coolest one, or
He's
was
so
the coolest
cool.
one.
He
Yeah.
was the coolest.
He was the
man.
coolest one.
Were you guys bummed when they
But-
took the makeup off and started performing like
I
that?
was bummed. I was like, I'm done.
Mm.
So yeah, I was very little. I was,
Oh, you were like,
I was like 8 or 9.
Were you like,
I didn't like it. I didn't want that.
that's interesting because in Brazil, massive. People are like, I love that. Like a lot of those songs after.
Oh, the non-makeup.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So do
Wow.
I. But
But
Yeah,
they
that's
could have
cool.
been. They could have been like successful. And nobody recognized them if they had just the makeup forever. Kind of like what Slipknot when they took them off. Now you know what they look like. I don't know. It's kind of mysterious.
but
and
Gene
cool.
Simmons in that era when he tried to look like he was in Bon Jovi or Cinderella,
Yeah.
it was rough.
It was very rough.
The big dude trying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like an easy I try to go glam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like, oh
Growed
man.
his hair. And
Yeah,
shit,
like it's just,
Yeah, I just that whole era, like it turned me off like 100%. Like I was like, I'm done.
you're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
See, that's where age comes into play. I didn't have that baggage of like, when I first got into Kiss, I didn't know that they were not really Kiss. I thought that's what they were. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They were like
superheroes or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were-
yeah. They portrayed themselves as superheroes
Yes.
from the
When I
movies.
first saw him
and-
too, it was scary looking up with his big ass shoes.
Yeah,
It was crazy back
Gene
then.
Simmons with the blood.
yeah.
Oh yeah, and his tongue.
Yeah, and you'd look at like this and that, and yeah, it was
I always thought that was a real
Hard.
tongue and shit. Imagine.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
Wow.
You know who's big a fellow Kissner? Frosty from Chain of Strength, and we
Really?
yeah.
I see him at shows all the time. He's always at shows.
He's a lot of shows. Yeah, last few shows Kiss played, including the last LA show. In quotes, we'll see. The last LA show at the Hollywood Bowl, I went with Frosty.
Wow.
And I go, this is insane. If you would have told me back in the day that Chain of Strength guys, and I'm going to go to a Kiss in LA at the Hollywood Bowl, which I still hadn't been to, but I heard about it, and I'm going to be there with Frosty from Chain, mind blown. I tell him this. Frosty's very like mild mannered. He's like,
he's pretty chill.
yeah, he just laughs.
It's crazy all his
I'm like,
nicknames.
no, dude, it's crazy.
It's crazy blowing nicknames into your 50s, man. Like so many people, like people still call him
course.
Frosty.
I only call him
Was
Frosty.
it because he had frosted tips when he was bleached hair and chain and
I
string?
don't
Where'd
know.
it come from? I'm
I
wondering.
don't know.
There's a lot of
You
wild
should have him on the
nicknames.
show, dude.
Yeah, but
He's seen everything.
would he talk though? Would he be too chill?
No, he'd be great.
Yeah.
And he had he was in a band called Man Will Surrender. They
Yeah, I
were on,
remember that. Yeah,
they were on Universal Revolution.
The Chain and String came and stayed in Queens at the Jackson House, GB House once, bleaching their hair in a kitchen and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
There
that,
you
man.
go.
Back
Yeah,
then.
yeah. No, Frosty would be awesome.
So music, the website, kids.
Yeah.
Are you kids into like punk and stuff? Hardcore?
No.
Okay.
My daughter's into
Swiftie?
Taylor Swift
Swiftie.
and Olivia Rodrigo
Sick.
and that kind of
Do you
stuff.
go to those shows with them or no?
No, I haven't. No. But next time Olivia tours or any of these people tour, we're gonna take her.
Yeah.
She didn't want to go before, but now she's like she wants to go.
Yeah.
My son, he's unfortunately, he's not music bug hasn't bitten. He's into fucking
Hip hop?
Video games.
Okay,
no,
okay.
no,
Right.
no. I wish it was hip hop.
Okay.
I wish it was any music.
Were you a video
Right.
games kid?
He
when
could
you
pick
were-
any music, and I'm going
Mhm.
to bond with him about it. And I
Yeah.
can, if
It's
he
gonna
allows me
happen.
to, I could punish him about it. I can say, hey, do you like that? Check this out.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
But
going to happen, though. It's going to
I
happen
hope.
naturally and
I hope.
organically. He'll find
I
his
always
own shit.
said I would never push stuff like that on my.
Yeah,
That's
dude.
good.
Yeah.
You know, and I never. The most I did was I put them in like fun T-shirts when they were a little baby, you know,
Right.
Kiss shirt or something.
Of course.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I didn't, you know, I've never pushed them to. She's in rock, School of Rock, my daughter.
Awesome.
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing.
so that's cool. She does that.
That's really cool.
Singing, you know. But I feel like they should be. I'm like, you know, you guys should be making a demo or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like make a demo and like, you
It's
know,
different how we came up. It's so different.
yeah, it's like, oh, you know, what are you talking about? Like, make a demo, write some original stuff. You know,
Yeah.
I was saying this actually
some
last night to my wife. I'm like, they should be doing a project where they make a demo. They should like write a song.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, that's how you
I hear
really
you.
invest yourself in it.
It's true.
Yeah.
You know, but anyway.
10
yeah.
10 years ago, you were here at this house filming me.
Yes.
A Fuse TV thing
Yeah.
called Day in the Life.
I used to work as Fuse,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
cable network when they still
Yeah.
played videos, and I was producing, and we did a show we did a series
Is that how
was-
you guys met?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
came to my
this is
house.
the first
Yeah,
time
came
we-
to my crib.
we really
went
met.
hiking at Runyon Canyon.
yeah,
too.
yeah, yeah.
It was a day in life with me. I
it
took
was
all
a-
my friends out.
It was
yeah.
a day in the
way.
life
Antonio
thing.
was there.
So we filmed. We filmed you driving Max to school, right? It was a hardcore
Can we
dad
find
day.
this on
Yeah, yeah,
YouTube?
yeah. It's on
Yeah.
YouTube.
We
It's
gotta
on
watch
It's the
YouTube.
last time I drove,
after.
probably too, probably.
Probably.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah. You were driving. I remember Tim from Rancid called you at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that wasn't in the thing. But I remember that. That was just surreal. I'm like, we're in the car, and it's like Tim. I'm like, who are you talking to? He's like, that's Tim from Rancid. I'm like, so random, you know? It's like, this is the kind of thing people don't. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
know, it's just normal life,
People
though.
don't know. Yeah.
I know. It's just
And then we went to get a haircut at some like obscure, like
Yeah, we
hidden,
went- yeah, we
top
went-
secret place.
Yeah. That was a cut by Angel, I think. Yeah.
Oh, by Angel, really?
Yeah. Then went to Runyon Canyon.
And then we went to Runyon Canyon. And it's funny because it, you know, I'm a little younger than you, and you, Rusty, all these guys going up and you guys are
I
just
remember.
like running practically, and I'm there with my partner, the director, and we're huffing and puffing.
Daniel the Swede was there. My boy Frankie Orange and Tony Ballatore from Murphy's Law. They
Uh-huh.
were all there. I saw the pictures.
And then we
of them,
went
yeah.
to Crossroads.
Yes.
We filmed in Crossroads.
Damn, that was a good
So it was
day.
like a full
Wow.
day,
That was the
and then
days.
in here for the interview, and we shot Max playing drums.
Wow.
And I remember going in his bedroom, going, "This is the bedroom I would have killed for."
Oh, yeah, he had
Are
that
you kidding
makeup
me?
with the stage and everything.
Yeah, I was like, what the
yeah.
fuck?
Oh, wow.
And then
He
your
got that pretty quick.
and then your
Chris.
bathroom was straight edge. And
Yeah,
I
it's
remember
still there, bro. Yeah.
telling my director, who doesn't know that stuff, and I was like, "This guy's so straight edge. His bathroom's straight edge." And he was blown away.
You
by
might
that.
not notice, but the guy
Yeah.
there that day hanging with us, Frankie Orange, he's a legendary roadie from Metallica. Tattooed all of James Hetfield's tattoos.
Oh, I didn't know that. No.
Tattooed the cross on Justin Timberlake's arm. Became the craziest roadie for Metallica, Slayer, every single person, Rolling Stones, and now he's full time with Future.
Oh wow.
Straight edge dude from Jinx Poop DC, but he was with us that day, just hanging out randomly,
Yeah.
hiking.
Yeah.
But
No, I didn't know.
he's a legendary tour manager, tattoo artist, everything, dude. Like,
Yeah.
he did the straight edge tat on fucking James Hetfield.
Wow.
And he
That's
got
pretty cool.
He got James to wear one of my straight edge OG Praying Hands X shirts on stage. Once.
Wow.
Pretty sick, dude.
That's
But that guy's a legend.
That's cool.
And Antonio was from Queen. I mean, Tony was from
Yeah.
Murphy's Law, all
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
stuff. Yeah.
But that was a fun day, and
Damn, that was a good day.
Yeah, and that would run throughout the day. It would just show up, it'd be a block of videos, and then that would just come on. And I did one to Rick from Strife, but
Awesome.
it never aired because at the time he was shooting a lot of models and stuff like that. So I went to
That's right,
shoot like
photography.
this guy from a hardcore band shooting, stuff for fashion.
Okay.
But I think he was a little shy about that part of it. He didn't want to have like
Rick Rodney Photography.
he didn't want people filming him shooting the model. I think he felt maybe
That
that
was
way.
so
I don't know.
cool that he was a photographer.
So we
though.
didn't finish it.
Damn.
We're friends now.
I know. I love
I'm
when
gonna
other
see him
people do
Saturday.
other things. It's not just what you think
Yeah,
they do.
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like,
He was into it. I just think he got a little gun shy, maybe. I don't know. But so I did that. I did I think one other hardcore related one, but most of them weren't. They weren't going to allow me to just do all hardcore. But I was trying to bring.
So you
I
pitched
did-
that?
Yeah, that was my show.
Oh,
I was
man,
like
that's amazing.
the
dude,
stuff that
yeah.
I was. It was they gave me a budget, and I said let's see what we can do with this.
That's amazing,
And
man.
I thought about you because it was like you were a blue collar band, like you work, you tour, but you're a parent,
Yes.
and you also were a road dog before
Yes,
that.
for sure.
So it was interesting just to see.
No, that was nice.
People,
Thank you.
yeah, people think of punk, Billy Joe or something, or Tim.
Yeah.
They don't. There's other people that are at different levels that
Way lower level.
yeah, but
Definitely
but they're
different
known.
levels there.
They're
No,
known.
for sure, for sure.
It's a brand. It's a worldwide brand.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah. So it was fun to do that, and yeah.
And then a couple months ago, he did this thing where it came across my feed on NYHC Instagram. Where I didn't read the whole thing. I automatically wrote my comment, but it was like the best opening songs on a hardcore record.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
And I didn't know until after I put We Gotta Know that you had put We Gotta Know in 5-year plan. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
I didn't see you put my own song up there. I didn't acknowledge it till later on there.
Do you know that when I do those questions, I'll just put on Instagram just to see what people say.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite drummer, hardcore drummer, guitar, whatever? People get angry. Like there's a right answer.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
I know.
it's so
interesting.
stupid.
It is stupid.
Yeah, the internet's crazy. Do you have a message board on NYHC or no?
No,
Yeah,
no.
that shit was.
I used to
the
have
downfall I
comments
felt
open,
like, dude.
and then the comments just became
Bro.
racist, homophobic, beef.
Right.
There was now I will contradict myself. There was a Sunset Skins article that Freddie Alva wrote. Really fascinating Sunset Skins article.
Because the book came out too. Lou had the book come out.
Yes.
Yes.
This was before the book. Lou's interviewed in it, and it's a good article. I loved it. I didn't write it.
Sure.
I didn't write
Okay.
it, but it's cool. It's interesting. The comment section was brutal. There was
Wow.
like people in there talking that were involved, and
Back then.
yeah, and it was like I don't want it.
You shut it off?
I
You don't want to know beef
that
or
was one of the
drama.
reasons why I shut off. I had one, Billy Milano, from SOD.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy,
MOD, SOD.
I posted his former MOD member, his current band, and he got involved in saying this guy's
He started commenting on there too.
yeah. It just
They say video killed the radio star. I feel
Yeah.
like the internet killed so many things, man. I remember,
Yeah.
I remember message boards came and the Bridge 9
yeah.
board and Punk
They were
News and all
horrible.
these things. It's just like these cesspools of hate.
It was just like
and
a
anybody
release
could
for
say
like
shit.
complete and utter losers to vent
Yeah.
and do things with the protection of being in their own comfort of their home and just putting
Facts.
out a projection of themselves.
Yeah.
Honestly, their hate, their ignorance, their stupidity.
Mhm.
It's just like being
And their
broadcasted.
and their jealousy.
Yeah,
And I
all
never-
of their envy and their lack of ability to do anything that they're talking about and not knowing what they're talking about, just like spouting it out on these message boards, and it's really a mirror of themselves.
Yes.
It's what I started to realize. I was like, these people are miserable.
Yeah.
Only
Miserable, dude.
miserable people do this.
I know.
Period.
Adam would describe them as like these I don't want to say on the pod. We could take it out, Joe. Like middle-aged dudes who still live at home in their basement.
But
Yeah.
even, I mean, they're just
Dudes.
following a lead of maybe something they've seen also. They're
Yeah.
like imitating things or spewing the exact same garbage that somebody else just did that they saw. It's not even any original, you
Yeah.
know, it's just.
But I never asked you that. Did it ever bother you? Any kind of negative comments about you when you joined the band or anything about separate? Did you ever let it get to you ever, Derek, once?
Maybe a little at first, but then I realized that, that it wasn't the reality of the situation. We were still doing tours with Metallica, in South America, or doing our own tours, opening up for like Motorhead. It didn't matter what those people wrote on
True.
the board. I was like, I'm here, and you.
It doesn't affect your real life at all, dude.
I was like, you're there. I was like, these people.
Hated online, loved in real life.
I mean, that was just the reality of the
Yeah.
situation. It was
Sure.
like, and it just made sense because they don't know what they're talking about, and that I think is a frustrating thing when it comes to like journalism within the music world. There's
Yeah.
certain people that
Facts.
aren't necessarily journalists,
Yeah.
at all.
No.
And so it's hard for me as an artist to take them seriously when they don't do their homework.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're talking about, and it's just
Never
like,
wrote
okay,
a song.
right? And I'm just like, you're gonna come and ask me serious questions, and you expect me to just open up about that. And it's just like, no, I just don't have respect for these people. I mean, I understand if you're just doing it for fun and everything like that, I get it. But there's certain people that just go out of their way to be completely negative and very closed-minded, extremely closed-minded to the fact that it's like you don't know what you're talking about. And even what you're putting out there defending or whatever, you don't even have a basis of that. It's
True,
just
man.
it's just like a joke. So, I mean, for me, that's the most frustrating thing when there's people who are like, I am, the defining, gatekeeper in music, which there's so many in metal in that world. Like that was a whole new thing, like being opened up, getting into that world. I wasn't used to like the massive amount of racism
and being a black dude coming in a metal band,
misogyny.
Sure.
I mean, it didn't exist as much in the punk and hardcore world.
No.
It did exist, but it wasn't on that level.
Yeah,
I was
correct.
just like, wow.
Correct.
I was just like, I thought people were here for music.
Yeah.
What trips me out is when I see people online talking about the people we all know are the realest motherfuckers from our scene. And I'm just like, I want to write like, yo, if you were in the room with this person, you would say nothing to this person's face, dude.
Yeah.
Like, legend. We know,
Yeah,
I have to say their
of course.
names. Like,
Right.
you guys are crazy. Like,
Right.
10, 15 years, you get fucking destroyed in public. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's ever going to say shit to your face.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever said anything to my face,
Right.
your face, my entire life.
True.
It's just
Very
so
true.
fucking. But the internet shit, like,
Yeah.
the message boards, kind of like the downfall of a lot of
message
shit. I
board
don't
is
know,
horrible.
man.
Yeah.
It sucks.
I try to use message boards back in the day because I wanted to be nerd out on it and share.
Yeah.
You know,
You're not trying to be a jerk.
no, and then it got to be that, or you
Toxic.
post something innocently, just like, oh, check this out, like that's fucking whack or whatever. It's
Toxic,
like,
yeah.
Jesus Christ, my God.
Oh,
If I don't like something, I just keep on scrolling, or I just
Exactly, because
it's
you're a
not
fucking
a,
normal
normal
human.
person.
Yeah,
Not
but it's
a-
like, who has time? Some people have the time just to like talk like
I'm
that
telling you,
all
it's just
day.
like people, exposing who they truly are.
Yeah.
That's all
A lot
it
of
is.
sad people, man.
Yeah.
I know.
Yes, there are.
But yeah, so your message board, the comments are off now on your stuff.
the
and-
comments in the articles, I turned that off. Yeah. In some ways, I probably lost traffic that way because people keep on coming back to see what's the new, you know what I mean?
It's
Right,
true.
yeah.
man.
But I don't care. I don't want that shit. You know,
Right.
'Cause
it's
some of that
bad
stuff can
karma
last
too.
for days when those conversations, arguments happen.
Oh my
Years. They'd go because
Years.
people would discover the article, and they go, "What?
More.
Fuck this!" You know,
It's so
Yeah.
interesting. It never goes away. You're right. It just like resurfaces.
if there was anything, so certain bands, if I posted certain bands,
Oh,
there was going to be a lot integrity always,
right.
always.
Yes.
Any DMS band, any FSU band, any because there's a lot of drama, and they're gonna get into comments, and I'm like, can we not talk? I don't talk about that shit in the articles. I'm just talking about the music.
Yeah.
I'm fully aware of what's going on. I'm not an idiot,
Yes.
but that's not what I'm. This is not
Yeah.
what we're talking about. Sunset Skins was about a gang, for sure, and if they want to debate about that, but it's not that. It's it's all sorts of racist shit, and you know what I mean,
I know,
like
it's crazy, man.
ignorance, things that they don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I turn off the comments.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't need the
Smart. You don't need
comments.
these fucking comments.
Yeah.
You're promoting music, not fucking people talking shit. Like.
Yeah,
But I definitely love to hear people's views.
For
But
sure.
when it's
Too.
on music,
that's it.
and
Me
that's
too.
it's hard to hear people like, what is it that you like about this song?
I know.
Yeah.
And they have a hard time
Articulating it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because they can't articulate.
I just
Exactly. Yes.
I just saw
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
amazing. The homie Haley Williams just did with a new record. She dropped 17 singles,
Mhm.
but then the fans were like, "Hey, why isn't this make this an album?" So she let all the fans put together the sequencing on her website,
Oh my god.
and they picked it, and then she re-put it
Interesting.
out as a record vinyl CD as a full album. She let the fans. That was
That's
the most
cool.
That's
positive,
pretty
cool.
awesome
That's
music
cool.
thing ever seen.
That's
really
cool.
cool.
Online, dude.
Wow.
So creative, dude.
Yeah.
I like that.
And she loved. So what happened? I guess it was similar sequences being all sent in, and it all kind of seemed that that's the main sequence that she thinks worked. Like
Mhm.
it's just really cool. I don't know.
It's interesting
That's
to
cool
see
shit.
that too. Like, what is it data? Like, what are people saying?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
This
For
is
sure.
most people are going with this not set list,
Yes.
but sequence.
As
Yes.
an artist, I would
Yeah.
be completely intrigued.
Yeah, it's
you know?
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not what you thought it would be.
I
You know?
probably wouldn't be.
Yeah.
Maybe. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Really, it was a really cool concept. Here's
Yeah.
a fun question.
Yeah.
Age of Coral, best wishes.
Egypt Coral. Oh boy.
So it's a question people ask.
Yeah.
We know it's a game. No, we know what we're saying.
I mean,
He's thinking about
If
it.
I'm being
yeah,
honest,
of course, yeah.
I listen to Best Wishes more.
Wow.
Yeah, he's younger.
Even the ballad. The only one.
Okay.
People, I've seen people online.
He's
He's not that much younger,
hate
though.
it.
But
Oh, no, I know, but-
my wife loves Best Wishes.
But I
yeah.
mean, it wasn't that the time period. It's just
That's
such
true.
a short.
It came out when I was into the band already.
Okay.
If that makes sense. Sometimes
Oh,
that
okay.
has an influence, right? Like Justice and Justice for All is my favorite Metallica album, but I was waiting for that album to come out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't
Yeah.
like after the fact.
You like the Black Album?
Not that much.
Okay.
It crushed me when it came out. It broke my heart.
So you're one of those fans we always talk
It
about.
did. It's
okay.
a great
It's okay.
record, and I know that now,
It's a banger.
but it
song.
wasn't what I wanted. I wanted it to be more thrash, more technical.
Mm.
Anyway, but yeah, you know, Age of Quarrel and Best Wishes, it depends on the day. And that in itself pisses people off. What? Best Wishes? Fuck that. You
Yeah.
know?
I would
No.
never say fuck that to that
Yeah,
album.
yeah.
And
you ride with
I
Best Wishes?
love Age of Quarrel. That was one of the
Yeah.
first shows I've ever saw in my life.
Crazy.
But I like bands that I have
Change it
respect
up.
for. I like that change it up, and I admire their ability to evolve. And I'm
Yeah.
curious of like what path they're taking, and their ability as an artist to try new things.
Yeah.
And so for me, I think that keeps my interest in a band.
Yeah.
You know, I always loved Led Zeppelin because each of their albums, you know, like if you're going back,
Yeah.
Judas Priest, you know, they always put out really incredible albums, never the same, but
No.
still keeping their
Yeah.
identity. You know, those are just a few examples like those. I always admire that. It's like, wow, like they really evolved or moved on in a different direction that I never imagined. The same with like Crumbsuckers.
Yes.
I admire I was like, damn, these guys got their technical ability
Yeah.
like stepped up a level. And I was like, these are serious players now. It's radically different from, you know, the first thing that they put out. But I like Beast on My Back. I like that album.
Good.
I think
You
it's
like that one?
great.
We're once again in the minority.
It's so musical too.
Once again, we're minorities.
Oh yeah. Totally.
Literally,
I know
figuratively.
this. Yeah.
I will say, I didn't appreciate how good of a bassist Harley was until I was older.
Mm.
And you know, Franklin
Yeah.
from Crown of Thorns played me recently. He has some app where you can isolate instruments
Oh, yeah,
easier.
yeah.
And he played me because he's a bassist. He's like, check this fucking Harley shit out, bro. What the fuck?
That's how he talks.
And you know, this is sick. And listen to it. I'm like, God damn. Look, you know, speaking back to some of these people have a lot of, you know, social media social media has not been kind for a lot of the people that we looked up to as
For
musicians.
sure. OGs, yeah.
Right? I will be the first to admit that. And I try not to let that get in the way of how I feel about their music.
Mm-hmm.
Harley is a fucking G. Musician, songwriter.
Legend.
He's a fucking legend, you know?
Yes,
And,
can't deny that.
you know, his bass tone, you know, Greg Sitari, Dan Littleker, these guys, it's like a Lemmy bass tone.
For sure.
You know,
Mhm.
Daryl Jennifer, these guys are, I mean, fuck.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
But I didn't really grasp the Harley bass as the instrument thing until more recently. I got to be honest. But so it goes. Best Wishes are aged depending on the day.
Yeah.
I will say that the vocals, John Joseph's vocals, are unhinged on that first album.
Incredible,
Unhinged. He sounds like
Unhinged. Yeah.
who sounded like that?
Yeah.
Nobody.
You know, it's crazy. He sounded like an
Yeah.
angry white dude.
But
Like an
that's
angry
all right.
white dude yelling at, you know, get off, get out, go play in the park, the fuck out of here. You know, he sounded like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
he sounded like the crazy fucking guy down the street in Queens, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Get off my
You know, he
lawn.
kind of was, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. The bass playing is. That's why I kind of like freak when I see Cro-Mags now and I see with Harley singing. I think it loses what I'm so used to hearing, the sick bass.
Yeah.
You know, like the intricacy
Yeah.
of certain notes and things. I'm like, dude,
I can see
pick
that.
up your instrument again, man, because that
You want
for
to
me,
focus
like,
more on that, yeah.
moved me like
Yeah.
the bass and the drums like together. Like I was like, damn.
Yeah.
You know, it's like so
So
sick.
tight.
But when I don't hear certain things, I'm a nerd where I'm like, damn, you know.
Yeah,
It's like I really want to hear.
And
like,
you saw them back then.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
me too.
See, I
Yeah.
I didn't see them in that, you know, I saw the reunited version, not the same.
Mhm.
Were you nervous to interview Harley? Were you excited? Was your first time meeting him?
I've never been nervous about interviewing anyone.
Okay.
Good.
Never.
Was your first
never.
time meeting Harley?
No, I had met him, you know, but never
In passing?
interviewed him.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
never
yeah.
hung out with him or anything like that. And no, I never feel nervous interviewing anyone, even Paul Stanley, you know,
Yeah.
excited. I always feel like people like that. I wish I had more time.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
And I wish I could hang out with them, and they get
Yeah.
more comfortable with you, and they start really opening up. You know?
Absolutely, dude. Yeah.
I think the podcast medium is fucking fantastic, you know, because you could do that. You can really
dude.
spend time with
Get
someone.
deep with people.
Yeah, and have multiple episodes, have them back. And next time you come back, I got to talk about that,
For sure.
you know.
How long did you have with
yeah.
Harley? How long did you have with Harley? An hour or two? Or
I think we were there for like 2 hours.
Okay, yeah,
probably.
well, that was in L.A.?
That was that movie theater, the
Brain Dead.
Brain Dead
Okay,
Studios.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool because it was like a nice pro setup, and you know, real, you know, it wasn't like a DIY thing. It was like a really nice setup, and yeah, that was for Trust Records.
It was a good vibe. It was a good vibe.
It was a good vibe, and he was cool. People asked me, "How was Harley?" I saw a band recently at the show that I saw you at the Integrity show. It wasn't Integrity. One of the other bands asked me, "How was Harley?" Because they have had experiences with Harley, and I said he was fine. He was you know, a
Seems
calm
more
Harley.
chill, more calm.
Yeah,
Older.
You know, a calm Harley. He wasn't, you know, and I told him in the interview, when I was a little kid, you know, 8th, 9th grade, I remember being in Queens more than once and seeing him coming out of the subway in Queens.
Wow.
You know, and I told him that interview, and he goes, you know, I have family there, and he's like, he talked about the street, like his mind was blown.
Wow.
But I told him, like, seeing Harley back then, the way he looked, people have I mean, I'm covered in tattoos.
Yeah.
Dime a dozen.
Yeah.
Back then, you were in Rikers. You were a Navy guy from the 40s or 50s. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
big chest piece at 14.
Yeah, he had a
whatever,
chest piece. He'd have like the flannel shirt open. I remember I saw him. He had a
dude.
flight jacket, and he looked insane.
Was that the long hair version back then? Maybe?
No, short.
Okay,
It
yeah.
was still 80s, so short. And
Like a leather
it was
trench
Best
coat,
Wishes.
no shirt. Yeah.
Best Wishes era. And it was with Carlos Stengler from Interpol.
Okay.
You know, and oh my God, that's Harley Flanagan. No, you have to leave him alone.
Yeah. It was,
You know.
Yeah.
There's also, you know, he's scary looking.
yeah.
Scary looking.
What about Born to Expire or Desperate
Desperate
Measures?
Desperate Measures.
What you got?
Born
Born to Expire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Both though.
But Desperate
So
Measures is
good.
incredible though. Dude.
Desperate Measures is incredible.
Incredible.
I love that.
Wasn't
like again, the
disappointed.
evolution of a band. And
Yeah.
Another one, it was just like, damn.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
what-
expecting this.
I was
So
pleasantly. I was just so happy
Yeah.
when it came out. I was like,
Me too. Man.
but yeah, both albums. Eddie Sutton, one of a kind.
One of
He
a kind.
can actually sing.
Yes.
He sang with soul, so it's kind of like an R&B thing to it. You
right.
know,
Yeah.
Incredible front man.
I
Yeah.
don't even look at albums really so much as like this is better than the other. I
No,
think
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't like. I don't like to compare.
I just
albums
hear
in
those
that
two
way.
being debated. That's why I've been asking. Yeah,
Right.
that's interesting.
people. And I've been asked that question, and I had to go Born to Expire. It's a perfect album, but you know, Eddie Sutton, AJ, Mike Gibbons, those three together on those two records.
Pokey.
Well, Pokey didn't play on the first one.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
right. Yeah.
But yeah, he played all the shows basically. And that's the first time I saw him. He was playing drums. But you know, those three dudes together, and you know, Mike Gibbons and AJ. So AJ comes from real hardcore, you know, punk,
Yeah.
Clash, you know, that kind of stuff. Where Mike Gibbons is, you know, I knew Mike, you know, after the fact, we became friends. He's from, you know, of course, from Queens, and he was a metalhead.
Yeah.
He was the first to admit, I didn't know anything about hardcore.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play in a band, and they had their shit together, and they're gonna let me solo,
I love
and
that.
like, you know,
Yes.
I don't have to cut my hair, and I can still. And they're playing in front of people, you know, and AJ, you know, I'm not saying anything that he wouldn't, you know, he doesn't do interviews. AJ doesn't, but I'm not saying anything I don't think out of turn, which is, you know, they weren't buddies ever really.
Yeah.
But I hate to say it, and I've told him this, you guys work together so well,
Yeah, man.
you know,
Yeah.
because he complimented, you know, what you were doing, and he brought that metal to it,
Absolutely.
but not in a way that was like cheesy. It was
Right.
so
Yeah,
flavorful.
yeah.
And then you have Eddie's vocals were,
Dude.
again, soulful, and you can hear what he was saying, and it was street, Enforcer,
Oh yeah.
Mark of the Squealer, you know, like he's talking about people that are, you know, relatable. These are people that
For
were
sure.
they're not from a movie. These are people that, he might have hung out with.
For sure. Kingpin.
You know,
Ooh, dude.
And, Eddie's life story is one of tragedy.
It is, man.
He should have been, a millionaire,
I agree, dude.
living in the hills somewhere.
I agree, man.
Or, AJ as well. But, in Eddie's case, it was, he had those demons and, I've never been straight edge, but some people, it's like, this is why some people should be straight edge.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, sure.
We saw another one at the show the other day. I'm not going to say who it was, but it's like, God damn it. Some people should be straight edge.
Never think about that. Oh, yeah.
Some people should be straight edge.
Yeah.
And, I wish he was. Because he'd still be here. And he might still be contributing, doing something.
No, I know, man.
So.
Yeah, big influence. Truly loved by everybody, pioneer with that sound and that everything, that crossover shit. Lee Wave Nan's like, it's just, frontman is incredible, man.
Oh, yeah.
I never see him play a bad show or not give her 100,000% on stage. Yeah.
And that label, Profile, man, they put out some cool shit, rap wise too, but but business wise, at least for I don't know about on the rap side of things, but on the other side of things, I don't know.
Horrible,
bad shit going on there, man.
No, dude.
Bad.
Trust is talking about maybe trying to work with some of those records and get them somehow through Profile.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
What would be a top 5 New York hardcore for you?
Born to Expire, Blood, Sweat, No Tears.
Ooh.
That's
Age of Quarrel.
Yeah.
One of the Youth of Today records, probably.
Winners Alone. I love that one, man.
Probably we're again. Just that was like, yeah.
I love that one.
That might be controversial for some people, but if I'm being honest, probably.
I mean, Break Down the Wall is great. Can't Close My Eyes is great, but something about that record, man.
Yeah.
No
Same
More,
here.
all that stuff.
That's 4, right?
Yeah.
5th. This is one of those things you're driving home. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I'm on the 101 thinking about, I'm thinking about Rest in Pieces or something.
They never get put at the top, which is interesting.
No, I know. They never, yeah.
I don't know why. It's weird.
5th, man.
Are you a Killing Time fan?
Oh, Brightside.
Let's go.
Brightside is probably my number 2 hardcore album.
Me too. Damn. So what's number 1?
And only one member of Queens, Anthony, right? The other guy's from
what's your number
Westchester.
1?
What was that?
Leeway, then Killing Time. Yeah.
Yeah,
but GB fan?
I am, but they're not my top 5.
Okay, respect.
But yeah.
But Killing
and
Time, dude.
His voice,
Brightside,
yeah.
he sounds like a fucking like a guy from the you know what I'm saying, like the guy from the neighborhood.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like yelling at shit, angry.
That record's perfect.
1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Damn
what?
This is a perfect album.
Normandy sound recording was perfect.
Yeah,
perfect. It had the clarity of metal, but the grit of hardcore. The cover with the guy. The back, the BJ photo with them on the fire escape.
Dude, so hard. So New York, dude.
What is that? Yeah, like.
But that record's just.
You know what that's about, that photo? Atmosphere.
Yeah.
Atmosphere.
Yeah.
It wasn't them standing in front of graffiti or, you know what I'm saying? Like
Lower
East Side. It was just them on a fire escape, but it was hard.
And,
staring at it. Whoa.
Yeah.
Like, what's their story? I didn't know the ins and outs yet of who these people were,
Yeah.
Maybe that was better when I was younger. Maybe it's better not to know. Yeah.
You see that legendary CBGB's clip going around the other day?
Which one? No.
Killing Time. I think Hard Lord posted.
No, I didn't see it. No.
It got lost and then somebody found out.
Oh,
the
no.
internet.
I haven't seen that.
That was at the show. It's a crazy CB show.
What
It's
era?
the last CBGB show.
Oh.
Where somebody I know pulled out a gun in the front. That was the last show that CBGB's for.
Wow.
No, I haven't. I got to see that.
Yeah. It's a great one.
Wow.
Everybody's in the video. Lou's in the back singing, going off. Like. Anthony's wearing Sick of It All long sleeve. Yeah.
You bring up video live at live at the Ritz with the Sick of It All, dude. And the interviews, come on, kidding me?
That's a classic one.
Sitting around my friends quoting those interview clips of of the Kohler, talking about working at the record company. And Slayer lyrics don't mean shit to him. Whatever. Hard, so dope.
I got some good moments in that.
Bill Wilson in it.
Yeah,
that's the guy. Blackout Records. Like, oh shit, that's the guy from. Like, it was like celebrities for me.
Yeah, I got a cool crossover during Hold Your Ground. I do like a crazy flip cartwheel, and then I crisscross, and then Gus does a flip, and then also sticking with has me come out and I grab American flag and I hold it up during
Oh, yeah,
Nazis
yeah,
front.
yeah,
and
of
the other
course.
side is Evan Biohazard. I just
Yeah,
met that
no,
day.
of course.
Oh my God.
He's actually in the crowd as the Hebrew Hammer back then during that video. Dude, it's a legendary. I'm on the side dancing. I have
Yeah,
a,
no.
bro, that thing.
You don't have to tell me.
Zach.
Bro, that video is so sick, dude.
And they played distance.
Yes. And so this is like
And Sammy's playing drums.
They have Priscilla's got long hair. Siv's wearing creepers. This is the beginnings of kind of Quicksand, Moondog, and Siv.
Moondog,
Like this kind of the last show is GB as that kind of vibe, man. There's a lot of that moment, dude.
And I remember my friend years later, I met him. We bonded on this VHS, and he's like, "That was, what we used to say." He's from Jersey. Like, we used to say, "Oh, that's when Porcel and them, they were trying to get girls. They were playing like melodic. You know what I'm saying? They got even more melodic. You know what I'm saying? Like they're trying
Grew
to
the hair out for that. Dude.
pre-emo. They're trying to get. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to get like
wow.
Yeah. Growing the hair out.
That would be the first time I heard that.
Yeah. You know,
I'm just saying that.
The shirts from the Gap
Sick.
and like the big blue jeans and the creepers.
Sick.
Dude.
Dude, when Civ came out, the band Civ, with the look, with the creepers and like the shirts, a fully realized look, I was all in. You know what I mean? That's not my aesthetic.
Cool. Yeah.
I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
It was so, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cool. It was a package. It was like
Fred Perry's.
Yeah.
Fred Perry's. It was a whole package. It was like, you know what I mean?
That
like,
was an interesting vibe. The only reason it got inspired from because they all were the creepers, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it a buck though. I don't think I ever saw Schreifels wearing creepers. I'm sorry. I never seen Schreifels and Sid wearing creepers. I swear.
But Schreifels,
He was in and out though because he was so busy. He wrote the album, but he wasn't really.
But he didn't dress like that.
No,
ever,
he
right?
didn't.
Yeah, he never wore those kind of shirts. And stuff.
No.
That would have been
Charlie,
cool if he did.
Sammy not on stage, and Charlie, Arthur, Arthur for sure, swagged out.
Yeah,
it was swag. Arthur.
Yeah. No, that was cool.
It was a crazy moment.
Yeah, and then the video that Marcos directed. Yeah, you know,
I mean, that shit.
Of course.
What's crazy? He went on to do Blink, and now he does Dexter. He's from Queens.
Yeah.
Bad
Hell
Trip.
Yeah. He's from Jackson Heights.
Bro.
Yeah.
Jackson Heights.
It was so iconic, all that shit. I just, something came up a couple months ago. I realized I did it, but when Sid played the MTV Beach House, I was there, and I sang Loose Part. I saw it on the video the other day. I mean, no, I forgot I was even fucking doing that.
Just the idea that Civ is at the MTV Beach House.
Bro.
It's crazy.
They were a buzzworthy video. That shit was huge.
I used to see Civ. There's a record store called Numbers on 37th Avenue in Jackson Heights.
Yep.
And we're seeing Civ. It might as well have, like, again, like seeing Harley. Holy shit, look, it's Civ. Whoa.
You remember Underground
know what I mean?
Sound in the
It's probably
store?
like in Cleveland seeing DeWitt or something, or somebody from Confront.
No,
not to you.
Oh.
But, you know, a little kid getting into the music. Oh, shit. You know, you look at these people, you know,
There's
that's
like,
the guy.
nah,
That's the
bro.
guy from H2O. You know, it's like,
You remember Underground Sound in Astoria, Queens?
yeah, of course.
We played there with Steel Suit.
I spent money there.
That was a great.
Steel
Shout out to Tony Tucci. He owned that spot. We played there once. It was sick. A record store in Queens.
Yeah.
Because I lived in Astoria. I lived in Steinway Street with Dave Stein, rest in peace.
Yeah.
And Squirm. Then I lived at this the Schick House with Craig and Devil, alleyway crew. It was called the Schick House.
Right.
And I lived in Arthur's bedroom with his dad and his sister in Astoria.
Wow.
Then I lived in Jackson Heights with the GB dudes.
Yeah.
I lived all over there, man. I love Queens, man. I was taking the train, the 7 train to work and all that stuff. Damn, Queens, bro. 88, I moved here with Timmy Chunks. Wild, dude. But you're Queens for
Timmy
life.
Chunks.
Dude.
So Queens for life.
You have any
for
Queens
life.
tattoos?
No. I should,
Come
right?
on,
I
bro.
should.
Yeah, you have
I
a New
should.
York Garquard?
I should.
You have NYHC
No, I
tat?
don't have any music tattoos, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to see Timmy Chunks.
You
bro.
did most of my tattoos, Civ.
Okay,
Oh,
awesome.
nice.
Okay.
So
In Long Island, Lotus.
So he had to sit there with me and be punished. And I would tell him, you know, when I told him this very story, you know, when I first saw you at Jackson Heights, it was like seeing a rock star, and he's like embarrassed. You know, he's like, "Come on, you know what I mean? Like,
Dude, first time we saw Isaac, me and Civ went to Seatown, whatever that grocery store was.
Yeah.
And Isaac had boots and braces on. He was stocking all like the soups.
Dude,
he worked in
Seatown was like
the Lord.
Seatown was lower budget than Key Food.
Yeah.
in Queens. Remember Key Food?
Key Food, of course.
Key Food.
Key Food on Avenue A.
Yeah.
Damn,
That was
dude.
my spot.
Yeah, like
New York
we
has
start.
the best
We start.
memories, dude.
Remember this ranking on each other, or is that
Ranking? Ranking that word.
Like
ranking
my friends are like saying, "Yo, your mom shops at Key Food." Word? No, your mom shops at. You know what I mean? Your mom shops at Seatown.
Meeting you, Zach, and I was just like, "Yo, this is like the real life Juan Epstein, but like modernized."
Yes.
I was like, "That exists."
He
It was
grows
like
out his
Puerto
orange
Rican
hair.
Jew.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Juan
dude.
Epstein was like the
Yeah,
Puerto
yeah,
Rican
no,
Jew,
absolutely.
Malcolm X Carter.
And just as funny.
Yeah, just as funny. Yeah.
Isaac the illest, dude. He's one of the illest characters humans that come out of the scene, dude.
Toby, remember? You know how I met Civ was? Remember Beware and
from Bayside, Queens.
Yeah, from Bayside. And
We worked at Army Navy store and laced us up with all free Dickies back in the day.
Yep.
What?
Beware. And what's his phrase? Oh, his friend. They were like,
I know the shaved head, dude. I remember these dudes.
I went to
Lots of cologne too and shaved heads.
Yeah. They were like Guido skin.
chains,
Like
Guido
Guido
skin.
They're trying to get girls. Yeah. They were. Yeah.
Who was the other? Who's his friend?
Fuck! I'm blanking on his name.
Like
Stevie
G.
Stevie G.
Who's an actor now from
Stevie
Queens.
G. Yeah, Stevie G. Whose father worked at Rikers, which is
Wow, I did not
that's
know
New York
that.
hardcore to the next level, right
Damn,
there, right?
dude.
And Stevie G is like, yo, because I want to get a tattoo. He's like, go to Civ. I'm like, from Gorilla Biscuits. He's like, yeah. Well, it's far though.
Lotus
It's
Tattoo.
Sayville,
Long
I'm
Island.
like, where's that? He's like, it's far. But he took me out there for the first time.
You did CBG?
Stevie G did.
Wow,
yeah,
man,
he's the
that's
one that first. Yeah, that's how I met Civ.
Dude.
Yeah.
I remember Isaac's dad, rest in peace. He was an NYPD police officer. He would take us to the train from the house, and he pointed at all the different spots that John Gotti used to hang out because he helped take down that whole crew. His dad did.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy,
That's
bro.
insane. Yeah.
Your son's Lord Isaac, and your dad is police officer. It was the craziest dynamic, dude. But he would show us all these spots, like where all the mafia hung out in Queens. It's pretty crazy, man.
I love that.
I'll never
stuff.
forget those
I know
stories.
that-
Like it was so
yeah,
interesting.
it's-
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like his dad was
I'm
like
sure.
badass old school Jewish police officer. Wild, man.
Yeah.
What was the last real job you had? We had like the boss or something.
Last real job, I worked for KCRW, the NPR station.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
KCRW.
I worked on all the website stuff.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
You're really good at building websites.
Not building websites, running, maintaining them. I know,
Yeah.
bugs, things like that. But to build one from scratch, no, I'm not that. You don't need to these days. You know?
No.
But yeah, I also like all the DJ shows that they have. All it's definitely not hardcore, but I worked with the DJs getting their shows up and getting up on the
That's
app.
cool.
So all the back end, behind the scenes
You've
stuff.
done everything in music, man. Being on
Everything,
stage,
man,
from
everything.
behind, all that shit.
Working, for management companies, marketing companies, publicity, tour publicity, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
Did you
everything.
ever do sound or lights or
no,
build
that
stages?
no,
and all this?
never
Okay,
did
okay.
that. Never did like anything like that. Production. I put out a record, put out a hip hop record of a friend of mine from Nonfiction, the rap group Nonfiction.
And my boys, I worked with
Yeah.
John Fuentes at Nana Shoes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Before
yeah.
before he was Sabak.
Yeah.
You worked at Nana?
Yeah, my boy John Fuentes. Yeah.
I put out Gore-Tex, his first solo record. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I had a label called Imperial.
Holy
and I put
shit.
I put his out.
Like
record
Necro, Nonfiction, Ill Bill.
Yeah, I met them before they were,
Nonfiction.
famous.
That's
to say.
fucking
They were in
crazy.
Injustice. They were in a metal band. Yeah.
Yeah, because those guys are
Who
metalheads.
opened
dude.
up for Sadis and Sepultura at Lemoore.
Ill Bill?
At Lemoore.
Wow.
And I remember meeting Bill.
Heavy Metal Kings. Yeah.
Yeah. And Bill had long hair, and Ron Necro. And Ron's younger than I am.
These
and,
dudes are rappers now.
and,
yeah.
Yeah,
and
I
he's
know.
like, you like hip hop? I'm like, yeah. He's sizing me up. I'm sizing him up. I'm like, you're in this technical thrash band that's sick, but turns out he's like listens to like real deal rap. I'm like, me too. So we became friends.
That's
and then
amazing.
as the years went on, then they got. I remember when I was interning at Roadrunner, I gave Howie Abrams Bill's and their
Demo.
tapes and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
and then they ended up working together.
That's incredible. Yeah, Nonfiction, man. Black Helicopters, all those songs.
Hell
It became
yeah,
a really
yeah.
big rap group.
Yeah, they played the Nonfiction played like a year and a half, 2 years ago. They played where we saw the show the other day, the OC. What is that? Amphitheater.
Yeah.
The Garden Amp.
Yeah. I was out of town. I remember John
Which
was in
takes
town for
about
that.
4 hours to get to on a
It's a
Friday.
mission. But John does
Fucking
all kinds of
Christ.
things with the youth at schools. He does all this positive things for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
community.
Yeah, he's always been the city kid stuff, all
Yeah,
that.
man,
He's
in
been
the mix.
involved. Yeah.
We just sold shoes together before I had H2O. I was a roadie for Sick of It All, and he was just hanging out. He's like, yeah, I'm starting this rap group. And then we both started our groups and both quit on it around the same time
Yeah.
when he was at
Yeah.
Fat Farm across the street. What's your take on like gatekeeping? Obviously, you're not like that because
No.
your life is music.
No.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
Be
I
inclusive.
hate the word too. It's kind of
Yeah.
cheesy, but
Be inclusive,
Mm-hmm.
Don't judge people. Don't make fun of them because they don't know what you know.
yeah,
You were there too.
we've always been we've all been posers.
Yeah,
We've all started
we've
somewhere.
you got to start somewhere, and I wish people would just let people like what they like.
Yeah,
You know?
man.
Yeah.
Or it's not for me, but that's cool.
It's not for
you
me.
know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
you like it. That's sick.
Yeah,
Or if you like this, check this out.
because
you
I'm
know?
sure the stuff you're getting sent to you that you may not.
Most of it is not really for me. these days.
But you're still supporting it and putting it out there because
Hell
you
yeah.
love this culture and
Of
this
course.
scene. Yeah,
it's
that's
not about
amazing.
what I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Who cares what I think?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I'm a genius with
Yeah.
with what I like. But
You have
yeah,
so
no.
much knowledge. It's crazy,
but
man.
yeah, I want people to just have give them a little bit of spotlight and see what people think of it. And I don't care what label they're on. I don't care if they're straight edge, non-straight edge, metallic, hardcore, metalcore. Who cares?
It's crazy how much labels were so important back then. What label you're on mattered.
I know.
Major sellout no matter what. Fat Records, Epitaph, Victory. Those are the keys. I'm just saying, but people would buy everything from those labels because it was Epitaph, because it was Fat Records, because it was Victory, Revelation. Interesting time back then.
Oh, absolutely.
All those compilations, Punkaramas, Warped Tour comps, so important. Dude.
Yeah, and I like supporting the labels because when I say label, usually it's one person. It's just who has a job, or might even have a family and who's losing money putting out vinyl, right? And if I can help them, they're appreciative of that.
It's so cute seeing like Flat Spot and all these labels and bands now. It's incredible how big hardcore is, dude.
And they're smart because they're getting sponsorship money, and that's frowned upon. I worked with Pabst for a few years, like helping them do stuff with
Pabst
the
Blue Ribbon.
Pabst Blue Ribbon.
That's Maury's favorite drink, dude.
Yeah, so I got them. I got fest sponsorships. I gave band sponsorships. I'm all for that.
She said it's Four Roses. Sorry, she likes Four Roses back there. So, what, babe?
Which one?
Old Style.
Old Style.
That's
That's a Pabst brand.
It's a Pabst brand.
They own it.
I'm talking.
Milwaukee.
Come talk on the mic, babe. I love you.
We're taking it back to Milwaukee.
But Toby, how much shit people got for that? Oh, they're bringing in Pabst in this. And it's like, come on.
Now it's Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's like nothing's going to change.
You know about Taco Bell commercials?
Yeah, I know.
So this guy named Tim Bergevin, my friend, he used to be roadie for Ignite. He did a Madball tour. He worked for Nike for years in Converse. He's the man behind all these. A hardcore kid from California. He's doing all that stuff for the Taco Bell commercials. It's so cool because that's his passion. He loves music, and now he's at Taco Bell putting like military guns, Scow, Turnstile, all these guys on fucking commercials.
And it makes a difference for them.
Totally,
right? Especially on the road. I didn't never heard of you. I don't know what hardcore is, but I saw the Taco Bell commercial. I know people are going to hear this and go, "Oh, I don't care."
Yeah, and I don't think people really care about that sellout word anymore. It seems like it's gone now. And bands can play any type of music and be hardcore. It doesn't really matter.
When Sick of It All signed to East West or whatever, was it Electron East West or which one came first? I'm like, good.
Yeah.
Me
too. I'm psyched for my friends. You want your friends to succeed.
Yeah, a little more time in the studio. Good.
Yeah, play to a different audience and spread this message.
And those records are hard.
Hard, dude.
They're not,
Scratch the Surface, right? Was the first major label one? You should know
Yeah,
this.
and then Built to Last.
Built to Last,
Those two records.
Dude.
Yeah.
I love Just
Look
Around too. I love all the records, dude.
Yeah. So
wow, man.
So I never felt I've never been like that. But again, I come from Michael Jackson, and I wasn't
Menudo.
like
Menudo,
freestyle music, and
no, I love that, dude.
Rap, which is all about about being big and getting and showing off.
What are your favorite MCs? Favorite rappers?
Gotta say Nas.
Hell yeah, Queens, baby.
Yeah, Nas. Cormega from Queens.
Nice.
Big time.
He's part of that crew, yeah.
Cool G Rap. Those are my top three.
The top three.
Cool G Rap. And they're all from Queens. I'm not just saying that from Queens, but that's it just happened to be. I love Mobb Deep.
Queens. Queensbridge.
Yeah, anything minimal. My favorite producer of the last 20 years, Alchemist, who's from out here.
From out here.
White kid from out here.
Hooligans.
With Scott Conn, yeah.
Yeah, original hip hop, yeah.
He's a rich kid. But he's sick.
Killing it, dude.
You know what I mean?
Freddie Gibbs, all the shit he's dropping now.
Sometimes that happens.
You like the new Freddie Gibbs, Larry June, all the artists, dude. He's incredible producer,
I love
man.
Larry June.
Yeah, Larry June's sick. Oh, he's talking about like drinking,
so laid back and just
drinking like fresh green juice. He's talking about health and all mental shit. Yeah,
I love
he's
that.
sick.
I love that. Yeah.
What's like the latest obsession for you right
Rock
now?
Marciano is another one.
Rock Marciano
from Long Island.
Yeah, that record he did with Alchemist, incredible.
Yeah, love Rock.
Yeah, he's from New York. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Long Island.
What's like the latest obsession right now for you that's not music?
We're watching a show on Netflix, my wife and I, called The Beast in Me.
Me and Derek.
It's a thriller, dark thriller.
Me and Derek watch shit all the time. I haven't heard of that shit.
What's it about?
What's it about?
She's she won a Pulitzer. She's a writer, but she's struggling to write the follow-ups. Her life's a mess.
I'm watching right now. And the neighbor's a killer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I started watching.
Claire Danes.
Yeah, Claire Danes.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah.
I forgot the name of the show. We watched it. We're almost done with it. It's fucking.
the beast in me. I'm pretty sure.
You
it's-
watching
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, I'm watching.
Yeah, I love
Dude, it's
that.
good.
It's good.
Watch
nice
that.
to see her back. The neighbor's such a good.
She's great.
He's got Kevin Spacey vibes for me, man.
Yeah,
Summer-
he was in The Americans, which we love too.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
I'm
great.
gonna start
Americans is
watching
great.
the Ken Burns documentary on the
Civil War.
The civil.
I heard about this.
Yeah, it's
I see
on
people
PBS.
posting. I see people posting all about it. Yeah.
I love Ken
Ken
Burns.
Burns is amazing.
The So I
Are you
tell
a history nerd with the
Yes.
history of the world too? Yeah.
not so much the world. I'll be honest with you.
Hardcore history.
Well, but, of course, any music history,
Yeah.
any music doc that comes out, I'm watching it.
Dude.
I don't care what it's about.
Devo.
Yes,
Fantastic. Sinead. Fantastic.
Seen him.
Billy Joel.
Billy.
Bro.
That's my all-time favorite musician.
Billy Joel.
Wow.
Anything you want to know, Billy
Damn.
Joel.
Oh,
Obsessed with Billy Joel.
How many kids he got?
Billy Joel.
Does he still live in Long Island?
He still lives in Long Island. He
I
lives.
heard he's making
think-
merch of the town that he's from,
Yeah.
but for many years didn't claim where he was from, and now he's back making merch. You know about this?
No, he makes merch for which
Hicksville
town?
merch.
From
is-
Hicksville.
Hicksville.
He was born in the Bronx, but raised in Hicksville for sure. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure he lives in Oyster Bay. But I
Okay.
could be wrong.
Dude, you're fucking.
But
you're
listen,
encyclopedia, bro.
but the Ken Burns. So again, if anyone's listening to this and is still listening to it,
Yeah,
and I
of
didn't
course
bore
they
you.
would. No, you're fucking killing it.
Ken Burns documentary, the New York one, insane.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's
Derek, you're gonna watch
it's heavy. It's multi-part, but
Okay.
just go watch it in spurts.
Okay.
It's insane. Ken Burns. Someone should do a documentary on a hardcore on the Ken Burns level. You know what I mean? Like
You should
episode
do one, dude.
episode 7, Cleveland.
Yeah. Dude, you'd be sick at
Confront was made up of. You know,
hardcore. Bro, you could do a history doc, dude. A hardcore history
maybe one
doc,
day,
dude.
one day. But you know how those things are, though. You make one and everyone hates you. Like,
Or there's something
You're right.
missing.
Yeah.
Or you fucking miss somebody. Yeah.
yeah, but yes, I Ken Burns is going to be. I know I'm going to be so into that.
Do you love the New York hardcore documentary from back then?
Which one?
I don't know. It's NYHC doc. Rick's in it.
Are you kidding me? Hell yeah.
Yeah. That's a legendary one. Yeah.
Warts and all.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
it's just, you know what I mean? It's classic. Fucking
That was.
Isaac sitting in the park bench.
Talking
and-
about being a fireman.
yeah. You
Talking
know,
about cranberries.
yes.
That was a good moment, dude.
So I ran a story on No Echo where Isaac talked about The Cure. And he talked about his brother. And
Yeah,
that
was a heavy
story,
moment.
people were hitting me up like, dude, that is great.
Wow.
Isaac
That's-
talking
yeah,
about The
man.
Cure and his son.
And cranberries and
his
Sundays.
brother.
Yeah, man.
Phenomenal. You know, but anyway, yeah, I love I love that New York hardcore one. I mean, that's a quotable one. Puerto Rican Mike's in that like
Yeah,
crazy.
man. There's some quotables in there.
You know, Rick to Life.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Were you a fan of that band?
25 to Life. Yes,
Okay.
I was.
Followed them. You saw them play.
Shout
all
out to
that stuff.
Harry,
Harry,
and
yeah.
Isa, and Beto,
And Warren too.
and Fred,
And Warren
Fred
Lee.
Musk.
Yeah.
and Warren. Yeah,
So you were a fan. You go see him play and all that stuff back
yeah,
then?
yeah.
Okay. How about Bulldoze?
Fuck yeah, more, even more so.
Wow. That's like the OGs of Beatdown, like we could say.
I'm not a big Beatdown fan. I think I'm so over it.
Yeah.
Right.
To be honest with you,
Are they the
Yeah.
originators?
but they're
It's safe to say.
I think someone might have asked me. Andrew Klein maybe was asking me, or we're talking about this, and I love
The
Bulldoze
Terrazone.
and Neglect. Bulldoze, Neglect. The Terrazone was sick.
You're into the super hard shit then.
That was tough,
Mm-hmm.
and Kevin's tough. You know, he would be
Yeah.
up there and he was like, "This guy's not to be fucked with."
No, it's scary.
Does this guy even listen to hardcore? I think he's just
Yeah.
up here because he's angry. You know those people? You know, because there's nerds. There's like
Yeah,
hardcore nerds that you can tell like they're super into hardcore. Like
Mm-hmm.
they wear the uniform.
Yeah.
And there's some guys just go up there. They like just go off work because
Right.
they were like hammering. You know, they're doing
Wearing
construction
Timberlands,
work.
Construction work.
Yeah,
dude.
Like Anthony from Killing Time was like that too. A little
For
like,
sure, man.
who's this man up there?
Wisdom and Chains
You know
come.
what I mean?
I saw Wisdom and Chains pull up with their hard hats on, with their yellow hard hats. Came right to the show. Yeah, working
my
class, bro.
You sure that wasn't just flexing? They were really
No,
they
they
were
work in buildings. They work in
Damn,
Manhattan. Yeah, legit.
that is hard. I didn't
Joe
see it.
Hardcore too. This guy's
Joe,
all union.
Joe Hardcore
These guys are union dudes. Are
These-
like
Right.
real
Joe
legit.
Hardcore is real deal.
That's why they make these
Holyfield,
funny things dissing kids for wearing Carhartt gear they never worked in their life. But it's true, man. Car was our shit back in the 90s.
You know,
bro.
I'll be
Oh,
honest
yeah.
with you. I've never worked a hard day in my life like that. Like I've never done manual work really, unless it's cleaning up and making dinner at home.
Yeah.
But
I did once, and it was.
but-
Okay, go ahead.
But no, I have worn Carhartt stuff, and I thought about that. I'm like, I'm such a poser right now.
Wow.
But it's just cool.
It was cool.
It was cool in the 90s when it
Everybody
first
was
came out for us, and then hip hop and all that shit, the Dave's Army Navy on 6th Avenue. But the only job we worked was hard was me, Isaac, Sick of It All, and Pete Sick of It All. We built the sound factory on 54th Street, and one day we found out there was asbestos there,
Yeah.
and Isaac's like, yo, I clocked everybody out. We're out. I'm like, why? He's like, I saw some asbestos. We're like, dude, I need this job, dude. And he's like, we looked down the the elevator, and the foreman was down there. He's like, so, yo, we fucking quit. And he took his hard arm and threw it down the dude, and we all walked up the street. I never forget. I'm like, dude, it's the summertime. What am I gonna? How am I gonna make a living right now? He's like, made us all quit the job, dude.
He's
Well,
looking
fuck,
out for
this
you.
is-
Yeah.
Looking out for your health.
We could have got a lawsuit or something with
Yeah,
asbestos or something. You know what I mean?
Definitely would have a lawsuit.
That was a crazy moment. It's like, what about some daily rituals for you? What's a day in life for like you? If your day in life,
Computer. I do no echo stuff. Answer emails. Look at what's going on. Look at some news. A little bit of news, not too much. It's depressing.
how's your exercise, your sleep, how's your health?
I walk a lot.
Okay, get your steps in.
I'm a step guy.
Me too. I like steps.
Yeah, I go on my walks. I listen to podcasts. Now I'm listening to stuff that I'm studying in school.
Yeah.
I do that. I listen to music all day when I'm working. I love in the background.
Yeah.
A lot of jazz.
Nice.
Things that you don't, when you were a kid, you didn't think who would have thought. Like I
Classical
said,
too?
George Benson. Anything.
You like country?
Some of it,
Okay.
yes.
Classic shit. Man.
By the way, the Ken Burns documentary, going back to Ken Burns, his documentary on country music, phenomenal.
Okay, we
But
get
anyway,
this Ken Burns guy. Derek.
Ken Burns is the man. Ken Burns
Okay,
is the man.
I don't know.
No. I mean, Kim Burns is legendary.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
his
Okay.
Documentaries.
So my
Steps.
ritual is a lot of step. I work on the computer, a lot of sitting, unfortunately, because what I do is
Yeah.
and then I'm my chauffeur, the chauffeur for my kids. I try to keep them in line, try to get them doing their
So you balance
schoolwork,
family and all that
keep
stuff.
them doing
yeah.
activities, soccer
Nice.
for her School of Rock.
Awesome.
Do you
Make dinner.
Are your kids speaking Spanish?
No,
Great,
that's
great question, Derek.
I was just curious because you're first generation.
controversial topic.
Really?
Well,
In the house?
¿Por qué, amigo?
no,
¿Por qué?
because you get judged. And now I will say, even my
Really?
wife is annoyed by it because this is the thing.
Is she
My-
Latina?
No,
Mm-hmm.
no, she's white girl. she's a white girl. No, she doesn't speak Spanish either. But so we had a nanny for our daughter, who's the firstborn, and we wanted the nanny to speak to her exclusively in Spanish. Homegirl didn't want to do that.
Why? Where was she from?
She was Mexican,
Okay.
like off the boat Mexican, who spoke fluent English though. Like her English was really
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
And my mom, of course, here we go,
Yeah.
thinks it's because she's stuck up and didn't want to talk to her,
Yeah.
And we said, look, we would love for you to do that. We didn't
Right.
say you have to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's tough for me. So why don't you, Carlos? It's tough to do that. It's really tough for me to do that when my wife doesn't speak Spanish. And I know some people that have done it to success. I mean, my first language was Spanish. My parents didn't speak English in the house. So I learned English from Electric Company.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
And
Electric
Mr.
Company.
Rogers,
Mr.
that's
Rogers.
that's how I learned English.
Wow.
Three's Company,
Hell yeah.
Jefferson's.
yeah.
So Norman Lear taught
Classic.
me English. No, so that's how I learned English. But yeah, my mom. We turned our garage into an ADU. So my mom lives there now. It's real pimp.
Oh, that's
real
amazing,
nice. Yeah.
man.
So she's living there since June. So my hope is that she speaks to them a lot, most of the time in Spanish, and they understand. So hopefully, because my daughter had it for a while and then she's lost it.
Okay.
It's hard if you don't practice it. You start losing it. Even my Spanish isn't what it used to be.
Yeah, of course.
When for me to interview someone exclusively in Spanish, it'd be a lot of like, ¿cómo se dice? How do you say?
Yeah.
I forget.
Yeah.
So no, they don't. And I would love for them to.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
Is it
yeah.
nice having your mom, the built-in grandma? That must be nice.
it's
man.
great.
Oh,
And I get to that's another thing I do now. I take her to her appointments, her medical appointments, and it just makes a huge difference. We visited her. She's living in Florida. That's what people in Queens do. They go to Florida
For sure.
to go die. So she was down there, and I said we visited her last year, and my wife's like, we got to move her. We got to move her to LA. We got to do it. We talked about it,
Damn.
but let's pull the trigger on that. She's 85. So even in the time she's lived with us, I can see her healthier. You know, just being
It's
around
amazing.
the
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's just like enriches her.
The life
her,
out here is so nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's literally next to us. You know,
Right.
and
It's awesome.
and to see them and go to the soccer games and you know and ask me why I'm wearing band T-shirts still.
Yeah.
The other day, she said,
Never stop wearing band shirts. I don't give a fuck.
she used to always say it was a phase. She would say in Spanish, she'd be on the phone in Spanish. Oh, I'm translating, obviously. She would say, yeah, you know, one day he won't care about this. And then, you know. And the other day she said to me, she usually doesn't say anything. She's given up on that, obviously. But the other day, I was wearing a particular, it was Cold as Life shirt. And she's not a fluent English reader. She can survive, but she can't, you know. But Cold as Life in big white block letters.
Yeah.
And with a dragon or whatever, some nonsense on it. And she goes, ay, ¿por qué? Still have to wear that. What? And I was going to the practice, which is down the block at the park for the soccer. What about the parents? And I go, they don't even give a fuck. Are you kidding me? They're in LA. They don't give a fuck. And parents have neck tattoos now.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter.
You know, we
yeah.
live in the valley. This guy's probably a grip on movies. Like, they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
No one cares. Like, no, it's not that they don't care. They don't even flinch.
Yeah.
Cold as Life shirt. If anything, you know, Trevor's, you know, Sick of It All, Trevor?
Yeah.
Who managed Sick of It All?
Yeah.
He was in my son's Little League. One day I'm walking in Little
Trevor
League.
Simpster. Oh,
yeah,
shit.
Trevor here. Hey, are you Carlos from the Wacko? I'm like, yeah. Who are you? Yeah, I am. And he goes, hey, I'm Trevor. I used to manage Sick of It All.
Yeah, OG.
You know, that's the only time in any of my kids' activities where someone's pointed out something hardcore to me about, you know what I mean? Like, they don't care. But my mom was like, I can't believe you still wear that stuff.
She was very supportive of you, though, all your music stuff, right?
In the sense that she didn't like tell me not to do it.
Yeah.
But she wasn't supportive like some parents are. Like, go for it.
Nah,
My wife's parents are like super supportive. She could have been like, I'm gonna go become an activist. They'd be like, great. You know, my mom and dad were like, you're gonna be, my father who drove a cab, like I said, you're gonna be a musician. What do you know what? I see them, they're bums begging for money at the park. The park meaning, you know, Watch Square Park.
Yeah.
And it's in the park over there in the village, and that's, you know, he's a loser, you know. And my mom was like, this is the phase. So they weren't supportive, like, go for it. But they, you know, I would say, I'm going on tour. They didn't know what that was. Who's paying for it? You know?
Have you been to Colombia or Ecuador?
Yeah, I've been to both countries.
And
Not as
with
an
your
adult.
kids?
No, I'm waiting.
Okay.
We're waiting a little bit. They're 13 and
yeah.
10. I want them to really not like get tired and be nagging, annoying.
Right.
You know, I want
I
them to
love
really,
Colombia, man.
Yeah, and then I have
And
friends.
You've been to both, right?
I've been to both as a little kid. I've been as an adult or even a
okay.
teenager.
Right.
So I can't wait. And then I have friends like, again, I keep on bringing Andrew up, but he's like my closest hardcore friend in quotes, right? And he's played Colombia. He plays in Strife. And he's
great
like,
there, man.
been to Colombia. And I'm like, I'm so jealous. Like, you've been to Colombia. Your white ass has been to Colombia more recently than I have. You know, getting to enjoy that food and just being around it. And so I love that bands are going there, by the way.
I love Colombia, man.
And by the way, Sepultura, you know, there's a thing because in Brazil it's Portuguese. So sometimes even in my family, it's kind of like they're not really, you know, they're not Latino like us. There's that kind of thing, right?
Totally.
And
I
they
know
probably
what
feel
you're
the same
talking
way
about.
the other way, right? For me, it was like, they're from South America. That's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Fucking excited. When they first started coming, there was a guy I knew, or no, Will Tarrant from Queens. He did a zine. He wrote about Sepultura. This other person, Kim August, wrote about Sepultura. And in their zines, I remember seeing their photos. This is before you can just get a record.
Yeah.
You know, you still, and you start in your mind thinking what they sound like.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And then when they finally came out, you know, on Road Racer, holy shit. And then the metal magazines got on board. I was so proud. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? It was, so to think of a band like Raw Brigade now, holy cow.
So, I know.
You know what I mean? Like, so excited for that.
And the guy lives in New York, doesn't he, the singer?
Yeah, he does. Carlos,
yeah.
Jackson Heights.
Wow.
Go figure. So yes, seeing Tom Araya and Dave Lombardo, seeing you know, the assorted characters of the hardcore scene in New York that were Latino.
Yeah.
You know, there's other ones.
Roger Murray.
Freddie.
Cuba.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Freddie, I think
Yeah, Jorge.
isn't Freddie's father
That's the one.
Colombian?
Mm-hmm.
Freddie's father. Oh, Freddie.
Right,
Yeah,
his
yeah.
father's
I think so.
Colombian. So
Right.
we had that in
Jorge from Marauder.
Jorge from Marauder. Rick Lopez, who was in the first
Rick
Marauder
Lopez,
album. He's
yeah.
from where I grew up.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I used to see his old band Cold Steel.
Oh,
But
wow,
yeah,
dude.
it's seeing those people back then in bands
Mm-hmm.
was huge for me.
I mean, that's the thing about New
You
York.
know?
Is like the melting pot. There was such diversity, man. It wasn't just like it was almost more like non-white skinheads in New York than anywhere else. I feel like
Yeah.
Puerto Ricans, everything was just such a sick. That's why the Nazi shit didn't fly in New York anyway.
No.
Anywhere.
The first time I saw
Queens
it was
and-
in Reading.
Yeah, exactly.
Reading, yeah.
Or
You know?
Allentown, all that.
At
stuff.
Allentown.
Yeah,
I went
dude.
to.
Or somewhere in Jersey.
Yep.
Somewhere in Jersey.
I remember going to a show by Atlantic City, and they were like straight up on the bill, like
Oh, yeah,
racist
that-
bands.
Yeah, Atlantic City
like,
Skins.
what?
Yeah. That
It's
was
like
the thing.
this racist, like openly racist. What is going on here?
I think, I think maybe a little bit Long Island, maybe a little Long Island back then too.
I'm used to like closeted or casual racism. I'm not gonna lie, but not this. This is insane. So yeah.
Or Daily Rituals. You didn't finish them.
Yeah. So and then this is end of the night.
His
I make
dad
dinner.
shit, yeah.
Make dinner, and then after dinner's done and the kids their homework is finished, they go into their rooms or we'll watch SNL together,
Best.
or watch something
Best.
something
SNL's the
together. If they
best.
want to have their own time and talk to their friends online or whatever, they go in. Then I go with my wife, we take a walk, smoke some weed,
Nice.
and go back and we watch some TV and just a
Right.
documentary. We're like,
Mm-hmm.
she'll say, let's watch something inspiring. So we watched Scorsese the other night because we had been
Great,
waiting.
dude.
Sometimes we wait on things to savor them. I'm not going to put this on.
Right.
It's like a fine wine.
For sure.
I'm going to wait
yeah.
on this one. I'm not in the right headspace to
Yeah.
watch this
I
thing
do that
tonight.
all
You know
the
what I mean?
time. Yeah.
do.
You know,
Yeah.
it's
I'm already
important.
binging shit. He's like, yeah, I'm waiting. I haven't started that
Yeah.
yet. Yeah.
So that's heaven.
Are you a good sleeper? You wake up early in the morning usually?
I wake up early. My mind is always racing.
I was gonna say it's hard to fall asleep. Probably.
Yeah,
too.
I'm type A, neurotic New York still in me. You know what I mean? It doesn't like Larry David.
Yeah, you're right,
I'm
yeah.
always thinking about things like random things like that.
Right.
Like the fact that when I pulled up today and there was what do you call those cars? The
Waymo.
Waymo.
You were
And
kind
then,
of tripping on that. Yeah.
Shout out to Waymo.
yeah, shout out to
Changing the
Waymo.
world.
He's gonna
And
be
then,
a
you
spokesperson,
said
man.
that you rode in the.
You were like, you can ride in them? I was like, that's the purpose of it.
I'll be honest with you. If I wasn't coming in with you gentlemen to do this, I'd be thinking about that whole experience. Like I
Wow.
fixate on things like that. Like I want to analyze it. Like what does that mean?
I hear you.
Go
You know
look
what I
it up.
mean? Like
He-
this
he-
is
I-
this
I-
is
I
how
go-
this is
yeah.
how I'm
Your
wired.
mind works.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that.
What do you think it is with like East Coasters and like the neurotic minds that we have? Because I'm still energized from living in New York, and I've been here
Oh,
20
yeah.
years. Like
Yeah.
talk fast. Everybody
Yeah.
talking to people from here, where they're so low key, and we're just like
I don't know.
It's like,
Yeah, I don't know. It's
what is it,
because
dude? In the water or something.
I don't know. It.
I'm not even born there. I just lived
I-
there a long time. You're born there.
Someone said it's because we're almost worried that the other person is gonna not listen to us or cut us off, and it's instinctual
Oh,
in
that's
New York
true.
people. It could be that. I don't know.
It's like a hustle kind of vibe.
My
I don't know.
parents aren't like that. My mom
Oh.
definitely isn't like that. But
Maybe
she's an
it's-
immigrant.
Yeah.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so
She's
is it the scene we grew up in? And I don't know.
You walk
man.
out of first of all, you walk out of the apartment building, smell like 800 million countries because the food's just fucking Indian food, Chinese food, Colombian
It's true.
food,
That's so true.
all sorts
So
of
true.
animals
Yeah.
being slowly cooked in ovens.
Yeah.
And then you walk out of the building, it's dun, 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 salsa
Yeah.
playing, hip hop's playing,
Yeah.
fucking freestyles playing.
So it's all this being.
It's
put-
just
all the
sensory
energy-
overload.
Yeah.
And I didn't know the difference. I grew up across the street from Elmhurst Hospital. It's an emergency, it's a big ass
Yeah,
hospital.
yeah.
And literally the living room window faced the emergency room. So I heard people screaming, my
Damn.
son, nightmares
Wow.
all day and night. When I would be in bed, 11 o'clock at night, I hear, dude, what is that? The ambulance backing into the...
Oh, yeah.
So
right.
it's just constant noise.
That's true. Yeah.
Constant
So then you
noise.
get out here, you can walk out in front of your house. There's like nobody out there.
Dude,
It's
we go
quiet.
out to go smoke weed at night, and now especially when it's darker, we go out there, we see our neighbor, hey, they're smoking weed too, and these are functional, successful adults. They're not
Yeah.
like, potheads.
Degenerates. Yeah.
They're fucking, and it's quiet. And I don't have
Yeah.
to look over my shoulder. I still do though.
Yeah.
I still do.
hear you.
So-
You can't shake that.
It's
At least
po-
I can't.
I can't either. man.
Right?
Yeah, so you're-
And also,
Mm.
this is another part that my wife probably doesn't think about. I'm Hispanic, right? If I'm alone and I'm walking around there, I live in a predominantly white neighborhood,
Yeah.
Sherman Oaks,
I feel like I'm getting picked up.
Especially now.
You think about things like that too.
Especially now. Shit.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know,
So this wire, it's just some sort of wiring. How they grew up with all this energy. And
so much
people, and
energy,
it's just
so
like-
much. The train, you go down to it's just noise, and you kind of mind your own business in a way, you know.
Totally.
You know, kind of. You don't want to. You know. You just that's how you survive.
Sure.
Yeah.
The trains, all that shit. Yeah.
But you know, I got to stress the food. You'd walk towards Roosevelt Avenue, where all the restaurants and the vendors are, and it's like a million foods.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if I'm vegan or something like that, maybe it'd be hell on earth.
There's some falafels.
But I'm not, so it was like I'm hungry.
Yeah.
I'm always hungry.
And it's 24/7 in New York. I mean, we had a friend that was just
24/7.
out there, and he was like blown away the fact that late night eating. He's like, you can go anywhere and have anything.
And it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, and it's
good.
amazing.
People ask, "Oh, Toby, the other thing, pizza."
Yeah.
They know
right.
pizza snobs, right?
Yeah.
You know, so I say it's not so much that in New York, it's like, is there good pizza in LA? There's great pizza in LA. The thing about Queens and Brooklyn is you can walk and just take a shot and eat a slice spot, and it's probably good.
Yeah, man.
That's
true.
the difference. There's
Yeah.
just more volume of good to decent, really decent pizza, where here you have to pick your spots.
What's your take on the Mexican food in New York?
When I grew up there wasn't that much of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's better now, but you can't compare it.
Yeah.
LA,
I mean, I
yeah,
came
man.
out here for the
Chinese
first,
food too.
yeah,
And on the East Coast, Chinese
Oh,
food.
right,
banging
right.
the
into
problem
New
with
York.
Chinese food out here is I want the bulletproof glass Chinese food. You know what I mean? Where the menu is on the top when you walk in, and it's
Yeah.
like the color is fading because the photo's been there 8 million
yeah.
years, and the price has been crossed off because they're charging more now for it.
Oh yeah.
I'll take a number 3. The egg rolls were real egg rolls. Over here,
Yeah.
they're spring rolls. Over
Oh,
there
yeah.
in Queens, Brooklyn, Bronx, they're fat, real egg rolls.
True.
So I miss that like ghetto ass Chinese food.
Also, I miss
You know?
walking everywhere a lot too. Like
Me
eating,
too.
digesting,
Miss that
more.
burning
Me
it
too.
off, keep walking, get more food, eating all night through Manhattan and shit.
Great.
Yeah.
When I worked at
For
so
sure.
I did have a job that was kind of a civilian. I was a doorman in Manhattan on the Upper East Side, 86th Street between 5th and Madison. Rich
How old were you then?
people.
How old were you then?
Very
In my
nice.
20s.
Okay.
And I worked there. And that was eye-opening because I saw how the other half truly live.
Right.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
they live by their own rules.
Mm-hmm.
The opportunities those kids have it's kind of depressing when you think about, you know, I didn't have them. And
Yeah.
I was poor, but I wasn't even as poor as a lot of other people in this country are, right?
Yeah.
And I got that was eye-opening that I did that when I worked that job. I saw a lot of things. Anyway, but I remember I used to work 3 to 11 p.m. and I used to sometimes take the subway into Manhattan on the Lower East Side or like down in the Village and walk up to 86th Street.
Damn.
Because I just loved
That's
I know it's
crazy.
a
Walking,
walk.
yeah,
I
man.
love walking, and you would see how different the neighborhoods change. But
Totally.
if I did that now, my friends I haven't been there in years in New York City, and my friends like, dude, it's way different now. You know,
Yeah,
of course they're hating on it. You know, they're complaining.
Yeah.
They're not saying it's great. No,
Right.
they
You
hate
can
on
still
it.
walk there, same
You
blocks.
could still walk though.
Yeah.
You're
So
right, yeah.
I'm going to do that next time I go there, and
That'd be cool.
it'd be great to do it alone because that's how I
Yeah.
did it, and you don't have to worry about how long you're taking or
Some
what you do.
headphones on.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to do that and really
I love that.
soak that in. But you know, you could do that where I grew up and just take Roosevelt Avenue from Corona, or like let's say you could even start it in like Flushing and just take Roosevelt Avenue, walk all the way to Queensbridge where it
Yeah.
ends, and it's what country am I in?
Yeah.
Back then, I don't know.
Mhm.
Now it was like, oh, I'm in
true.
Colombia now. Oh,
Yeah.
now I'm in Peru. Now
Right.
I'm in Korea. You know, now I'm in India.
Yeah.
You don't find that in other parts of the country.
Mhm.
Not
No,
on
no,
that
no.
level,
Right.
right?
It's true.
There wasn't little this or little that. It was just we're all here, and we have to figure out how to coexist. So
It's beautiful. We got to grow up there and live in New York at those times. We lived there in the
Yeah.
90s and 80s and all that shit. You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Best
absolutely.
Hip hop, hardcore, everything, man.
Hell
It's
yeah.
definitely
Food,
changed.
culture.
100%. I guess it goes through cycles.
It
New York,
does.
for sure.
It does because in the in the 90s and after that was like the Strokes and all that shit.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
Interpol and
right.
and I still lived there back then and the bars and it was like I was going to Brooklyn. I'm like I can't believe I'm hanging out in Flatbush.
Yeah.
My father, I had an aunt that lived in Flatbush.
Right.
My father's like, I'm not going to your broke ass aunt in Spanish. I ain't going to broke ass Flatbush. You come here.
Wow.
Because going to our apartment was better.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Is Yonkers still the same?
Yonkers?
That I had cousins living out there. I was like, I'm not going out
Yonkers is like the suburban part of the Bronx, right? It's like right over the Bronx.
there. Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I don't, I would imagine so. I don't know.
Isn't East New York still East New York, though?
East New York. So that's the neighborhood I tell people, that's the scariest neighborhood that I ever went to in New York.
Yeah, I don't know if it's still the same.
Queensbridge is rugged, but
sure.
East New York felt like this is like a Charles Bronson movie. Death Wish 3.
Death Wish.
You're on your own.
Yeah,
you're on your
dude.
own. I used to do surveillances for insurance. Con Ed in New York.
Yeah, bro.
Of course.
So people used to go on workers' comp saying that they couldn't work because they were injured. So when I was in Black Army Jacket, I needed work, like side gigs to make money, and I would go and follow people around and try to catch them
You're like
doing
a spy
insurance.
And shit, bro?
Yeah. And they lived in rough neighborhoods throughout New York. So I got to see a lot of fucked up neighborhoods. And East New York was fucked and scary. So I'm not embarrassed to say that. I'd be, sometimes I had a car, sometimes I was just, training it. But I remember being in my car and just being like, I could be killed right now and nobody would say anything or know anything.
So you're following people?
I follow them. I'd go to I'd ring their bell and try to get them on camera. I'd have camera on my tie or on my hat or something, sunglasses. And I would say,
you're like a Fed, bro. That's crazy.
It was mostly for Con Ed.
Wow.
And I got people, working second jobs when they weren't supposed to be working. I remember I followed a guy. He lived in the Bronx, and I had to follow. It was sucked. I had to follow him.
Did people see you like want to step to you?
I never got caught by anyone.
Okay. Till now.
Yeah. And I remember following some guy who said he couldn't work because his back, and then I followed him. He was working. It sucked because I had to go from the Bronx. I had my car all the way to Jersey City. He was working on a construction crew.
Oh.
Yeah.
Seriously, we're getting double paid. Wow.
So people hearing this, oh, what a narc job or what a cop job. But,
it's an interesting job. I never heard people did that.
People scamming that, it fucks it up for people who really need it.
Of course.
Yeah.
And that's why these companies don't want to dole out money for people who legitimately need it.
Taking advantage of it. Yeah, wow.
Yeah, and if I wasn't sure about somebody doing something like that, I would always say, yeah, I had nothing. Sometimes I couldn't really tell. You know what I mean? Some
100%,
people, some people were just fucking flagrant about it, right in front of their fucking house doing work. Like manual labor shit. They say they can't work because their neck.
Yeah.
And they're out there like digging ditches and shit. Fuck, that's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway,
how long did you do that for?
Did it on and off during Black Army, just like 3 years.
Wow. Okay,
on and off. My friend did it full time. That was his job.
Does that mean major companies besides Con Ed have the same kind of jobs?
Oh yeah.
Okay, everybody has it.
They all do. They all do.
Insurance companies.
Wow.
And my friend did it for other companies too, but I did mostly Con Ed. And because I'm Hispanic, it's like, guess who they're going to send to the Hispanic neighborhoods? It's going to be me. My friend's a white kid, so he's like, they think he's a cop or something.
Damn.
So I'd send me. I could blend right into the project. So I'd walk into the project.
Job, dude.
And sometimes there were roughnecks hanging out in front of the projects.
I love
you know what I mean?
I love the words on this episode for listeners who are East Coast New Yorker.
Like just posting, sitting on the bench, like holding court. And
I need a roughneck. Gotta get a roughneck.
I'm walking into the project, and I have to follow somebody to get in, get rung in.
Wow.
And sometimes I get looks, but I never got into any trouble that way or any other way. So
crazy,
I probably dodged the bullet, literally. But that was interesting. I forget about that job sometimes. Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
But that was a way to see, real, like you think,
real
perspective.
Life shit, yeah.
I thought I had it rough. Man.
Yeah, Morrissey projects.
Brutal.
Damn.
Brutal. Yeah.
Fuck, man.
Some projects are compared to those are like, it's like a dream come true. Like Co-op City. I don't even know Co-op City.
I know the name, but yeah.
Co-op City was like a resort compared to some of the places that I saw, Damn.
What about Avenue D projects? They're still there.
I never went there.
Those things never changed, suppose that's still there.
Really?
Yeah, supposedly it's still there.
I was there not too long ago, like in that
There's a little
area.
bit of them left.
Why would you go there?
I mean, no, it's just Avenue.
Well, it's changed.
It's just Lower East Side. That's
No.
Avenue D for dead.
Oh, you mean you okay, I see what you're saying. Okay.
Just
wouldn't
stuff
really
that's still
go
kind of
there to
standing
hang
in
out.
Lower
I
East
think we're
Side.
talking about projects
I'm thinking
somewhere
about Lower
like
East Side Manhattan. There's still some rough spots.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still the same out there.
I
But
don't know. I mean, I definitely, like you said, it's perspective. I mean, once
Yeah,
you
for
see
sure.
some like really crazy places.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're
what's
like,
worse? Yeah,
it was rough where I grew
Remember
up.
that guy
but
True
not
Life?
like-
There was a rapper from Avenue D went to prison. I saw him on a podcast. He was from Avenue D Projects.
Okay.
Some rapper, I don't know.
Yeah. No, you feel like, I wish I didn't grow up in a place where it was so. There were times where I was conflicted because I liked being from there and it gives you street smarts and you get to see a lot of colorful shit. but on some level, sometimes you wish it was a little calmer.
Yeah,
Of course, especially for a kid.
I like where I am now. I like the suburbs. I don't have to live.
Yeah, man.
I can just go to Ventura Boulevard and go to a restaurant or whatever, or come see friends across town and drive or whatever.
It's a nice life. Dude. It's like nice out
Yeah.
there.
I'm happy. I'm happy in the burbs. I'm okay with that.
Are you an optimist or pessimist?
I used to be a pessimist. I'm becoming an optimist.
Nice.
I'm trying to evolve. I'm trying to improve myself. I'm trying to do all the stuff I used to think was, in quotes, weak or not macho. You know what I mean? Like
therapy. Therapy's a huge one.
I'm trying to evolve and maybe
and grow
and say, that was a stupid opinion I had. I've changed my mind on that, and it's okay.
Yeah.
And I was afraid of admitting that sometimes.
So now you're in therapy. Now you're going back to school. It's amazing. You're 50 years old. It's incredible, man.
It's not too late.
You have a great hairline too, by the way.
Thank you.
We always talk about hairlines. At least I talk about hairlines on here. It's great.
We used to in the hood. We used to talk about hairlines.
You did?
We used to diss each other about hairlines. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's a thing you talk about.
I think that's international.
Or light skin versus dark skin in Latin culture. People say black people only do
Even
that.
Latin culture. Wow.
Are you kidding? My father. My father
huge.
was dark skinned. My mom is pale as a ghost. Even within my mom and my dad, they used to say shit to each other.
Snapping on each other? Snapping's another one too, yeah.
Snapping?
Damn.
Yeah. We used to say ranking.
Right, yeah, ranking on, yeah.
Rankings.
You ranked you out, bro. Take that,
What do you have just as much hip hop knowledge as you do hardcore?
I think so.
Yeah, we do a part
maybe not as much as hip hop.
I'll love to do a part two.
I don't.
Hip hop.
So I don't follow
newer stuff.
Whatever's on Spotify for the top hip hop, I don't listen to any of that. I listen to Rock Marciano. I listen to Alchemist stuff. I listen to Larry June.
How about Kendrick?
No, I don't like Kendrick.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Okay,
See,
respect,
I'm not.
respect.
No, I don't like. That's not the right wording. I don't listen to Kendrick.
Oh yeah,
Not that I don't like him.
J. Cole.
Not really.
Okay.
You're
more on some underground shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not just because it's just what I gravitate towards.
Yeah.
But anything Alchemist produces, Muggs
How about
produces.
Griselda?
Love Griselda.
Conway the Machine.
So I guess that's one that's like mainstream.
Benny
I guess.
Butcher.
I love.
So New York '90s, dude.
And they're from Buffalo.
So sick.
How hard is that?
They put that shit on the map. They put hip hop on the map.
But that's the type of DIY thing that I fucking love.
The merch crushes. They do all the merch themselves.
That's what I wanted for nonfiction back in the day. They didn't take it to that level. I wanted that for them.
Yeah.
There was reasons why they didn't. They infighting and drama.
Sure.
But Griselda, I love that. I love we're from Buffalo and we're proud of it.
They're grimy and they're like
you think it's not fucked up here? Come here. Actually, that's another thing I learned on tour or going to shows before I was touring. It's suburban. Shit is fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anywhere. It could be in the Midwest, and it's like, especially you don't know the code of what what is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see the Griselda videos. They're in front of houses.
Yeah.
But they're fucking. They're hard.
Have you heard some of their stuff? It's like so New York, dude.
I'm sure I've heard.
It's really like, and it's like okay, but they're considered New York rap though.
Yeah. I mean, they are New York rap,
but it's Buffalo. But
it sounds like it sounds.
You know what I mean? But
it sounds like the boom bap era. Yeah,
it does,
that's why I like it. That's
why.
That's the stuff. Larry June is an exception to that rule, but yeah, I
he's from like up
towards
north, right? San Francisco.
Yeah, he's from the Bay Area.
Yeah. This has been amazing, dude. By the way, I knew this was gonna be awesome. I knew you're gonna have so much knowledge, man.
Thank you.
Your
it's
journey
great.
and
I love talking shop. I love talking music. I really do.
I feel like I'm gonna have you back for some other like hip hop or some obscure shit.
Yeah.
You probably know like every obscure demo ever made from every band.
Yeah.
I'm sure. You like the Raw Deal demo?
Hell yeah.
One of the best. One of the best, dude.
But I still.
What's your other one demo?
No, but I'm not one of those people that just because it's demo, it's better.
No, I know.
Right,
Some
people say the Chromax demo is better than the album. Say that.
Derek talks about that.
Some people say,
really
I do that sometimes. Contrarian, here we go. I liked Minus when he was a singer of Marauder more than Jorge.
Okay.
And people hear that and like, what? So that's just, that's just
me. You a Master Killer fan?
I am.
Yeah.
I love both of them. Don't get me wrong, but I like the Minus stuff because his voice was crazy.
The Master Killer comes up so much on these pods.
Oh yeah. The younger people, that's like a Bible. They love that record.
And then that bulldoze of all this stuff. Yeah.
And let me say something while I have again. I know we're closing out. Let's show Biohazard some love here, man.
Yeah.
I love Biohazard. I fucking love Biohazard. Their new record's great.
It's great, right?
You know what I mean? I love Biohazard.
I'm happy you said that, man.
I love Biohazard. I love Billy's voice. I love Evan's voice. Danny's a sick drummer.
Yeah. We just said that.
They were great back in the 90s in New York.
Untouchable.
With Bobby doing the spins.
Untouchable.
You know what I'm saying?
With the leather beat.
The energy is off the hook.
Oh, hard. And I saw him with Anthony Mio on drums. Homeboy came out with a Dookie chain. He came out with like EPMD chain. Like he looked like Eric Sermon. And he's playing fucking
Hard.
During that Leeway show with Exodus, it was Anthony Mio.
Wow.
Dude.
Hard.
I mean,
Hard.
Biohazard, they fucking took 25 on tour, Sub-Zero, Marauder,
Yeah.
Bulldoze, Crown of Thorns, Madball. They took a lot of bands
Love
out,
Biohazard.
man. You know
Love
what I mean?
Biohazard.
It had them all in the videos, all up in the video.
All up in the videos.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? They put a lot of bands on
Yeah.
the map. They looked at Doggy Dog.
Yeah.
Doggy dog.
So yeah, man, shout out to Biohazard, man. They really
I love Biohazard.
they created their own
Yeah.
lane with the hip hop and the hardcore, and they did it really
Yeah.
well. It wasn't cheesy and authentic with Onyx and all that stuff. Those genres they connected. It's a beautiful time, dude.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean? Shout out to Bio has a new record on tour right now with Onyx.
Yeah.
I mean, the Judgment Night soundtrack is legendary,
Yeah.
bro.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I feel like I could talk to you for a long time.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, any major regrets in your life?
I'm trying not to think that way.
Yeah.
Not going to school, which I'm rectifying now.
Yeah, rectifying.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one that I kid myself about for years.
Mhm.
Because I was coasting along, doing okay and figuring it out, career-wise, but just that was a regret. Other than that, when I was younger and drank a lot more, the other day, someone said, who was it? I was with somebody from the hardcore scene, because it's the only way to come up. They said, oh, is your kid straight edge? Oh, Rick Rodney. Rick Rodney brought his kid we went to a show the other night, the Rich Hall show, hardcore show, and Rick Rodney was with his kid, and his kid's into hardcore, he's getting into it, and he goes, is your kid's into hardcore? And I'm like, nah, he's straight edge. I go, well, no. I mean, he's kidding around. They're little kids, but I would love for them to be straight edge. If my kids, both of them, said, I don't ever want to drink or smoke weed or anything, I'm like, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
If I would have told my dad that, he would have been like, what are you,
Yeah.
GAY?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So
That's-
different
it's
times,
a
different
different thing.
generations, everything.
My wife
yeah.
hears this shit, she's blown away. I can't believe that's where you were raised. It's insane. But her dad was a college professor, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Who went to Oxford.
Oh, wow.
He was
Yeah.
British.
Were you,
You know,
more,
so-
were you more of your mama's boy, like growing up? You, your mom, more bonded?
Yeah, I didn't get along with my dad. I was,
Yeah.
my mom, yeah, definitely.
You know what? After a couple more sessions of therapy, maybe a couple, whatever, we're going to come back. We'll talk about all your deep family stuff you want.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And you're going to be a therapist, dude.
It's
fucking
the
amazing,
goal.
man.
That is the goal.
I'm stoked
I'll
for you.
get
That's
there. I'll
awesome.
get there.
50
Yeah.
years old, back in school.
That's it.
It's
Never
awesome.
too late.
man.
It's awesome.
Never too late.
And No Echo Instagram. You check the DMs. You talk to people on there. Like do
Yeah.
people reach out to you?
All the time.
Okay.
Yeah. I tell them, like, I have it in the the profile. Don't DM me pitches. Email me. I put my email there. They still DM me.
Okay.
Well,
Is there an email? Is there an email that we can reach out?
Carlos@noecho.net.
Okay.
Can't get easier
You can
than
submit
that.
demos. do
Will I get
interviews,
back
all
to
that
you?
stuff.
Not every time, and that's not because it's just sometimes shit happens. I
Yeah,
try.
know. You're a dad, man.
I try my best. I
Yeah,
really try
that's
to
all
help
we
as
can
many
do.
people as possible. Sometimes I'll cover a band, and then like 2 weeks later, we have a new song. I'm like, brother, I just covered you. You know what I mean? Like, unless you're my best friend or one of my best
Yeah,
friends,
yeah.
you go a little extra for them. But yeah,
Nah,
but I try my best. I try my best.
I appreciate putting Turn State on. My son.
Yeah, they're gonna be
Turn State, right? Torn State. Shit. I appreciate putting Torn State on the No Echo.
You're a poser. You're a poser for your own son's band.
I think Turnstile. I
I
see
do
the
this
name.
all the
Always
time,
see
too.
Turnstile, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Dude, Carlos, this is amazing. And also
Yeah.
for the listeners, we have something coming out. We did like an hour change interview with Carlos and Adam Blake and Todd Friend about our first 3 albums coming out. So we'll put this out at the same time. It's awesome. Thanks
Hell
for having
yeah.
us on. That's so cool.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Toby.
Reminiscing-
Thanks, Derek. Nice meeting you,
Yeah,
Dude.
Finally,
pleasure,
and
man.
So many great stories, man. What a great life, man.
long live Queens.
I'm glad we connected. We're friends, and thanks for all you do for the community and the culture and the music, Appreciate you.
That's what we do. Thank you.
All right, D-Block, thank you.
Peace.
Peace. I always ask my guests if they have any regrets. I personally don't have any regrets. Even when it comes to my tattoos, I have the silliest tattoos. Even my ET on my leg, it's still a childhood memory for me, and I love it. I've had tattoos on top of tattoos strictly because I wanted more tattoos. I started getting tattoos when I was 18. I'm 52 now, and I can't stop. I've had laser treatment before on something on my arm. It's 4 tattoos on top of each other. And that experience at that place was pretty fast. It was pretty cold. It was in and out, swiped the credit card. Don't really tell me much. Didn't give me much details or anything was going to happen. So I never went back. So as of most recently, I'm so lucky enough to have had 2 sessions at Removery Tattoo Removal. My tattoo on my arm looks like a big black blob. Is now super light. I've had 2 sessions. I have a long road ahead of me. None of this stuff happens overnight. You cannot take a tattoo up in one sitting. You have to be patient. And it's painful. They ice you up. It's super fast. To me, it felt like a bunch of rubber bands. But what's more painful than that is looking at something on your body that you think you're stuck with for the rest of your life. That sucks. But now for me, I'm really happy I started this journey. I'm slowly going to get this tattoo removed. I never thought in a million years to have any kind of real estate on my arm. I don't even know what I want, but it's exciting. I'm so honored to announce that One Life, One Chance podcast is now with Removery. Call 866-934-4570 or go to removery.com. Use TobyH20 and get $100 off your first session. One of the most experienced tattoo removal companies in the world. Removery has 155 locations and 1.8 million treatments. US, Canada, and Australia. State-of-the-art peak-away laser technology, cryo technology to reduce any discomfort. This is so exciting for me because all I do in these podcasts is talk about tattoos. From day one, if you listen to this podcast, talk about tattoos, talk about getting removed, talk about getting covered up. So this is such a perfect fit for me. Definitely check out One Life, One Chance podcast, episode 281. I have Carmen Brody, Mike McTurnan, and Dustin Ortle from Removery. And this is over a 2-hour conversation. People had submitted questions. It's an incredible conversation breaking down the do's, the don'ts, the fears, process, the results, everything you could imagine about getting a tattoo removed. It's all in this podcast. It's an incredible episode. I appreciate them all coming out for it. So check that out if you want to learn more about Removery and what it's like to get a tattoo removed. Once again, go to removery.com or call 866-934-4570. Use my code TobyH20 and get $100 off. These guys are located everywhere. Try it out. I have a lot of friends who are sober, a lot of friends who are straight edge, a lot of my friends are going through it. I know struggling with substance abuse and alcoholism can be really, really hard, especially knowing who to turn to. It can be really, really daunting. I'm here to say that a good friend of mine and his friend started this incredible treatment center called Refine Recovery. They gave me a phone number, 855-516-3332. You can text, you can call them. It's totally confidential. It's safe. There'll be somebody on the other line to help you out, a compassionate human being to talk to help you navigate the process, the insurance treatments. They accept most of private insurances. You can go refinerecovery.com, Refine Recovery Instagram. I know it's hard, but reach out to somebody, man. People care about you. People love you. People want you to be here for a long time. People love you in their lives. If you're going through it, make this phone call. It's totally private. I know people DM me all the time about going through it and going through sobriety and trying to get straight and trying to take care of themselves, and the struggle is totally real. And Refine Recovery is the definitely move. Reach out to them, 855-516-3332, or text them, 855-516-3332. You can call or text this number anytime, 855-516-3332. You know the drill. This number is here for you to call. As we get older, we start paying attention to what we put in our bodies. I personally have been listening to my body since I was 18 when I went vegan. I've always been focused on my health. It's super important, mental and physical health. But it's really important for people who are just starting to get more healthy and trying to step up their life. Doing your homework, reading the labels, researching and verifying everything that's quality. It's part of the game these days. That's why I started drinking AG1s. I'm so proud to have them as a sponsor of my podcast. AG1 is a foundational nutrition supplement that delivers daily nutrients and gut support and is backed by multiple research studies. You can trust what you're putting into your body. We're all so busy these days, so just throw a pack of AG1 in the morning into a cup of water and shake it up and drink it. I love the way it tastes. I do it every single morning. It's part of my routine. I bring the packets on tour. It's an incredible life changer for me. Many supplements only reference research from ingredients in their product. But I trust AG1 in my daily routine because it's constantly putting the formula to the test. It's backed by multiple research studies. And one of those research studies, AG1 was shown to have double the amount of healthy bacteria in the gut, which is super important because these help digestion in the immune system and immune health. And these bacteria are known to help with digestion as well, gas and bloating, which I freaking need. And it also promotes regular bowel movements, what I can attest to. In another research study, 97% participants felt more energy after 30 days, and 91% of the participants noticed that they needed less coffee after 60 days. I quit coffee like 5 months ago. I know I'm good on that. But AG1 is packed with a variety of nutrient-dense ingredients and is the perfect complement to my healthy diet. I drink it because I know it's going to work, and it gives me peace of mind covering all my nutrition bases for the day. In fact, I trust it so much, that's why I'm spreading the word about it. That's why it sponsors my podcast. Thanks to Angie Huberman for turning me on to AG1s, connecting me with them, and now they're part of my podcast. It's so easy and satisfying to start your day with AG1s. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of the vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your purchase at drinkag1.com/OLLC. That's drinkag1.com/OLLC. It's never been a better time to focus on your health and wellness and get back on track, man. Take control of your daily health. Health is wealth.